live. And
Was cracking.
we
Merry
should be
Christmas,
live.
everybody.
Yeah. Merry
Hope you're all
Christmas.
doing well. Let's have a quick look. How you doing, Tim? Are you all right, man?
Yeah, I'm just refreshing YouTube. And now I need to mute YouTube. Yeah.
Cool.
Oop, not me. Yeah. Get that
I'm still
muted.
running on a bit of a delay.
Yeah, so I want to turn on some Chillstream music to start with.
Yeah, put that nice.
They give us any.
This one on again.
I don't think they give us any like Christmas music, so I'll just play the usual music.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's see who we've got. Well, Jason's in the chat. Gerard's here. Hello, Gerard. Hello,
yeah,
Andrew.
He says hello to you, beautiful people.
Jason says he's met his brother and they did their Christmas food shopping today. Yeah, that's always a big shop, isn't it? It's always more expensive than you think it's going to be as well. How about you, Tim? Are you sort of prepared for Christmas? Is everything done now?
Well, my mom didn't want to put up a Christmas tree this year, and I owe her some money, so she's just gonna take some of that off for my Christmas present, and then she's gonna pick out her own Christmas present, and then I'll pay her back for her present.
Okay. You were telling me that she was watching Empire Strikes Back yesterday.
Yeah, well, it turned out she really wasn't watching it so much. She just turned it on late, but she recorded it along with Return of the Jedi last night.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, she watched a bunch of Christmas stuff, though, like she usually does.
I watched Return of the Jedi in the cinema with my mum. She took me to see it when I was 6.
Okay, and Gerard's asking, where does one purchase such a funky hat, monkey boy?
I don't know. This just grew out of my head earlier. I was expecting you to have a Santa beard on or some sort of elf hat, Tim.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any Santa hats left. And Travels North, Jason got his tree up.
Have you got the Stormtrooper on the top of your tree again, Jason? You had the Stormtrooper on the top last year instead of a fairy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I know some people with their Star Wars action figures, they like to make a nativity scene where it's the Mandalorian and Cara Dune and Grogu.
Ah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be good. Didn't think of that. Did you do any dancing this week, Tim?
I had Tribal Fusion, belly dance. On Tuesday, it was just me, the teacher, and one other person. But we'll have one more class a week from today, for the 2 days after Christmas.
Right.
And Jason saying, yes, got my Stormtrooper helmet on top of the tree, so it's just a helmet.
Excellent.
He doesn't have the whole action figure. He doesn't have a whole action figure.
He's got like a Stormtrooper head on the top, tree topper. Pretty cool.
Okay. I thought maybe he put like a Stormtrooper action figure on top, like an angel or something.
No, it's a proper sort of Stormtrooper helmet. I think it's a small one. Yeah, it's cool.
And Andrew says, hey, Gerard O'Connor and Travels and More Jason, and Gerard O'Connor, Skeletor has ignored my comment this week, Monkey Boy. I may have been a touch too cruel
I didn't see a comment from you, Gerard, this week. It might have done that thing that it does sometimes and doesn't show up on my end. I'll have another look after the stream. I'll double check. I was doing the scripting today, and I was going through all the questions, and I haven't seen one from you, I'm afraid. It might be that YouTube is up to its old tricks again and is keeping it from me. But I'll check a bit later on.
Gerard O'Connor says, "Yo, Andrew, hope you're doing well." And Travels in with Jason, fix my head, do.
Oh, okay. So it's a proper full size one. Okay, cool.
I guess he means the Stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah.
And Jason says YouTube probably delete it.
Yeah. I think it's just you, Gerard. YouTube doesn't like you because it's done this a number of times, hasn't it? Your comments have disappeared, so I don't know what's going on. It doesn't want you to communicate with me. I can assure you it's nothing to do with me. I learned my lesson quite early on, and every single time I get a comment now, or 99% of the time when I get a comment, I take a screenshot of it immediately in case YouTube
my phone's
deletes
ringing.
it. Okay? Oh, who's on the phone? Somebody's on the phone for Tim. Yes. No, yes, I take a screenshot of it every time, of every question, and then I just go through my gallery when I come to write the scripts, because I have noticed that some comments do disappear after a very short amount of time. They don't stay up long. So providing I get the notification for it, I take a screenshot. But that's obviously if I get the notification, which I don't always get a notification of every comment either. So it's a little bit patchy sometimes, but I can assure you I haven't ignored your question deliberately. If it doesn't show up, then well, there's not much I can do really. I'll try and contact you through it. I'll reply to a different comment of yours and try and let you know that it hasn't arrived. This is why Lord Malvada sends questions to me every week on Twitter, because his comments always get deleted. So he gave up trying that. It was to the point where he could reply to a comment and that would stay up, but if he made a fresh comment it would get deleted, and I think he just got fed up with having to do it that way, so he sends me questions on Twitter every week. So you're more than welcome to do that if you're on Twitter.
And here comes Lester San Jose. Merry Christmas, Lester.
Hey, Merry Christmas, fellas.
Hey, Merry Christmas. I'm glad I'm not the only one that made an effort.
Sorry about that, guy. Yeah, I've just been inundated with work, and when the project becomes a two-man operation, for the most part, it can get a little hairy. So
yeah,
but I'm not complaining. Just means I have a better chance at a bonus especially for December. So,
yeah, that's handy. Yeah.
So I can't complain.
Yeah, that's good.
YouTube has me down as a bully. Oh.
I think he's just talking about when he's commenting on some of the Skeletor channels.
Yeah.
Skeletor's YouTube.
That's fine though. I encourage people to have a go at Skeletor. I think was it Andrew that had a go at Skeletor this week, or had a bit of a pop at him? Someone did. I forget who now.
Yeah, I don't think I got a chance to watch that video yet. I watched yours, Monkey Boy, but the Skeletor one, I don't think I got a chance to watch yet.
The beginning is quite disgusting.
Oh no!
The beginning.
Yeah, I'm afraid Beastman's been up to his tricks again.
Oh, we're talking about another. Oh, okay. I will try to stay out of that.
That's on my other channel.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
It's where it's Skeletor hosting, though.
Oh, I see. Okay. speaking of He-Man iterations, I remember the old school cartoon. Now, I just came across something. It might have been a Netflix thing. It might have been a Prime thing, but wasn't there a reboot back in the early 2000s? I didn't know. I wanted your opinion if you were into the cartoons, Monkey Boy, because I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
they did the New Adventures of He-Man, which was kind of a reboot, and it was kind of more to do with He-Man and Skeletor being in space. But I didn't watch it. I wasn't a fan. I liked the original cartoon.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years ago, I think it was possibly last year or maybe even the year before now. Kevin Smith did a
Oh,
reboot on
that one.
Netflix,
Yeah. Oh, that.
um,
Yeah. There
and
was
that was
one.
pretty awful.
It might have been Prime. I forget where I saw it, but it must have been an iteration of He-Man done in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
I still don't
yeah.
know if I'd be down with it. I mean, it seems more compelling than whatever Smith is peddling these days, and
Well,
it,
maybe.
it
Did the one you see have He-Man with a ponytail?
possibly.
Hey, the monkey. Merry
Hey, sorry
Christmas.
I
Hey,
was
monkey.
late.
It's okay.
I
We're talking about He-Man right now.
You were
Yeah,
doing what?
We're talking about
He-Man.
He-Man in the Masters of the
Oh,
Universe.
um,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could always try and scour for the old school toys, but I just don't feel compelled to buy them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I don't have all of them.
Yeah,
I've got far more Motu Origins figures than vintage figures.
right.
Um, it's difficult to find vintage ones in good condition with decent legs, and when they haven't got crotch rot and the color of their
Oh,
underpants
yeah.
hasn't bled all into their
and
legs and stuff. It's quite
and
difficult.
you, uh, I completely agree. Lots of times when I've found He-Man action figures at places like yard sales, a lot of the time they end up smelling like ass.
Oh.
Well,
No,
they do.
No, that makes sense.
well,
Yeah, there's something to be said about certain toy construction and certain chemicals or materials having been used at the time, I suppose.
Well,
Um,
and you have to take into effect that they don't understand that you're not supposed to have those characters out in the heat of 100 degrees yard sale in the summertime. They
oh, that's
just treat
true.
them
yeah.
uh, like any other toy, but they don't understand that He-Man action figures give off a certain smell.
Oh, yeah.
Correct?
Well, especially with the. I still remember the one to this day, the one He-Man I had with the. Again, I forgot how it operated, but basically you stuck like what they use for cap guns, and then
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, that one. Of course, that's going to give off an odor if you've used that number of times, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think that's Thunder Punch He-Man. I,
Yeah.
I, I think anyway.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And also they end up smelling so bad because in that amount of heat, so many kids, at least in America, will like play with their toys when their fingers were dirty from supper or things like that. So their figures ended up smelling really bad when
Yeah.
it's like 85 degrees at a yard sale and they smell like 5 or 20 years of last minute meals and suppers and things that they yeah, that's why you don't see so many United States collectors saying, "Hey, I found a whole bunch of these toys at garage sales." No, you'll see people finding these really good figures at Goodwills or Salvation Armies, but you never hear them say they found them at yard sales because those are the ones that smell so bad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey Luke, thanks for stopping by, man. Oh, no worries, dude. You're welcome. Just thought I'd send a Christmas greeting your way. No problem. Gerard saying hey to Lester and Luke as well.
And Andrew said, hey, Lester, the skeptic, San Jose, the skeptic tank.
Well, I appreciate that he and some others have been commenting on some of my videos. I promise I'll get something more comedic. It's just that I just haven't had the time working life to just keep taking time away from me. But hey, it pays the bills and feeds the habit.
Yeah.
But
Jason, I see you. Sorry, Lester, go on.
No, that's culture video. Oh, I see. All right, I'll have to check out your. I subscribe to you, Monkey Boy, but I guess I gotta check my notification setting. I swear I put it to all, but
yeah, well, that's on a different channel, Lester. That's on my second channel.
Oh, okay, got it. All right.
Yeah,
So if you go into the video description on any of my Monkey Boys videos, there'll be a link to Skeletor's channel in the description. It's a different channel.
Got it.
Jason, I see you sent me a message on Messenger, but I can't read it at the moment, Jason, because it'll stuff my phone up if I do that. So sorry, I can't read what you sent, mate.
I was gonna say, in terms of like the stuff from He-Man, the only thing having sway for whatever reason is those Skeletor memes. You know, the one where he makes a pithy comment and then he runs away.
Yeah.
Until next time. Until next time,
like
boys and girls.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Since you're talking about those figures, may I bring up the newer line that I was very confused by, because with the newer line of He-Man figures from the Netflix show co-created by Kevin Smith, have you seen how different they are from the original characters?
Yeah, the Masterverse figures, yeah.
I didn't care for them that much. How about you? How about all of you?
I don't have Netflix.
I wasn't a huge fan. There were a couple that I liked that I thought were quite good, but for the most part, I didn't like them. I liked the web store one, the Masterverse web store. That looked pretty cool. And Trapjaw was all right, but some of the others haven't been very good at all.
Yeah,
they're not.
A lot of them were wearing so much armor you couldn't tell where they began and ended.
Yeah, that's right.
It's well, for me, when it comes to things from my past, they still have to connect with me to a point where I want to keep them around as reminders of something more abstract and more principled. So, like, I keep around my Super Saiyan Gohan when he goes to level 2, you know, in the Cell Saga. I have that around because it's like he's one of the underdog stories. So I have a bunch of underdog representations through some of my figures that I do collect. So for He-Man, I was a kid. I don't know what his stakes were, to be honest. Yeah, he had to make sure that he retained the power of Grayskull, or you know, guard that. I get it, but I'm beginning to want more fresh protagonists or heroes with a different type of story. I mean, G.I. Joe, I'm still looking for a quintessential Snake Eyes figure. I've been given a couple of recommendations, but it's like, because I like my ninjas, and that was probably one of what I thought was a cooler G.I. Joe. Yeah. Is that a pound puppy, or what is that?
I think it's supposed to be like a Christmas little mouse. It's I want to say it's a Beanie Baby, but I'm not sure. But it's like a Christmas. I think this is a Christmas mouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of needing new like antagonists and things like that, I need to explain a little bit. I was a little late because I was changing around where I live last night, and and I was really, really sore. I mean, it. Don't you agree that when you get new things, you just want to rearrange it all that very second?
Sure, I get it.
Well, but but the sad thing is that that I well, when I rearranged everything, I cause I got uh um uh you would be proud of this, Tim. I upgraded my shelving unit to where I can display even more.
Oh, cool.
But but the but like I had one that wasn't as big, so I upgraded it to even bigger to match the others. But the sorry, but the but the sad thing is that I'm trying to get to is that when I put everything away, I kind of put most of what I had gotten away too. So I'm gonna have to try to track those down soon. But I want to show you what I was talking about. That remember how I talked about last time about a certain series, a certain movie that was hard to track down, but I was a big
Mhm.
fan of it, starring Judi Dench and Colin Farrell.
Okay.
Okay, I don't remember.
Okay, you found
okay.
it. Okay.
Oh, well done.
Artemis
Fowl.
Okay.
This is the book of it, and it tells the story of it, of what happens, and this is the one that took the longest thing to track down. But right here.
Oh, I see.
And
okay.
it on the back, it shows the characters.
Okay.
See, there's Artemis Fowl, and I had a chance to get Artemis Fowl, but really, Artemis is kind of this just the only thing he really does. Like he only gets to be the smart, suave one that he is because he reads his father's journals and he gets himself a suit. But this character right here, the one that I got, is a officer that's over 1,000 years old. She's a sprite in the in the in the in the in the sprite police that ends up she's smart enough to trust her gut and follow on a case that where they think that his father stole a priceless antique from the fairies, but it's much deeper than that, and she trusts Artemis Fowl, and it turns out to be not what everybody thinks, and she ends up getting uh getting things go good for her in the end. All the rest of the force is cheering for her, and even Judi Dench is happy with her by the end of it. But it took so long to track down these two items, and but like you said, it's hard to track down figures or items from series that you really love when they're that hard to find. Correct?
Yeah.
It depends what the property is, really, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, Star Wars comes out straight away. I mean, they can't get it out quick enough, so it really depends on what the franchise or what the property is that you're interested in. Really, there are some things that never come out.
This particular property, there wasn't a lot made of it. They had made it when they thought it was going to be popular and catch on, but they ended up taking it off of Disney Plus because the viewership was not as strong as they thought it was going to be. So they only came out with like a handful of items for it, and so it took me a long time to track those items down, because the book basically is the only way to read about it, and the movie version is like, for those, if you can't track down a very rare physical copy of it, it's the book's the only way to read it.
I'm not familiar with Artemis Fowl. I've got no idea what it is. So
it's based on a book series, but
well,
there's
yeah,
much more.
I've never.
There's much
isn't
more
anything about
collectability of the books than there is of the. They made the book series before they made the.
Yeah.
But sorry for monopolizing the thing. I was just trying to. Larry, you made a very good point about protagonists and figures that it's harder to find, and so I thought I would show those two items.
I think it's fantastic that you still can't get Lester's name right after about 4 weeks.
Yeah, you just called him Larry.
Yeah, I was going
Larry.
to show the protagonist I'm trying to get, because this is still kind of new, and so this is from the Ripperverse, and they're building out their world. So this is the first issue. There's a second one for this particular character, and then in the universe they just pushed out what's called Alpha Core. So it's like they're slowly building out their family, and they're slowly building out the story. And I'm sure there's going to be an interconnection at some point, but it's kind of nice to follow things from the very beginning. I mean, when I was young, I just go, oh, that's He-Man, or that's such and such, like G.I. Joe. I didn't know in the history of G.I. Joe until I saw that Netflix thing on the Toys That Made Us, understanding that G.I. Joe was something concocted much earlier in time than when I was born. And to know that it evolved into the G.I. Joe, the real American hero, and so forth. Same thing with Transformers. But knowing that I have these available so I can go from the very beginning and say, like, I'm one of those, I guess you could say early adopter. It's not something that I came in just for the ride. Like Star Wars was very much like, oh, that's cool. But it was out well before I was born. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But I only say this because as much as I love Spider-Man and I love Batman, I mean, at some point, because maybe of how they've been doing the stories, I almost feel like each of these titles that we've grown up with, maybe they have to come to an end at some point. Like, how much more out of the X-Men can you exhaust? I mean, I don't know. I like Indiana Jones, like if they had done it right, we probably would have been able to survive another series of Indiana Jones films if they kept the format correct.
They just need to make Indiana Jones more like James Bond, where it was just a different person playing him.
Exactly.
At some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just Harrison Ford constantly.
Yeah. It's, like, I love Harrison Ford. I saw him in Blade Runner 2042, or whichever year they used as the subtitle. He's but yeah, I would like to have a fresh face for Indiana Jones if they kept the format straight.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be Tom Selleck originally, but he couldn't get out of playing Magnum PI.
Yeah.
So they went with Harrison Ford.
But now that I don't know if the plots or the scripting or even the synopsis of the recent indie films will that allow them still to insert another actor, or has Harrison Ford monopolize the Indy Jones character to himself? That's the only question I would have. It's like
I actually have the answer to that at the very end of the new indie film. Even though, yes, he does grab his fedora, that one lady is eyeing his hat. And you need to remember what her line of work is. She acquires artifacts illegally that she strongly desires. So it is close to reason that since they even produced action figures of her, uh, they produced a Funko figure of her and a real action figure of a like a
well, that's
they I was saying that I think that it's very possible that they could do another one where where it comes to find out that after he died, she stole his hat and continued what him and
I
her
don't
father
know.
was.
I mean, anybody can make a figure of anybody. So going to the Star Wars example given by Monkey Boy, it floors me watching all these videos of all this Disney Star Wars overstock at not just Target, but I don't know. I know I don't have an Ollie's in my area. I don't know if they have an Ollie's in California, but Ollie's is a discount toy retailer where they take a bunch of overstock and they mark it down like close to 80%.
Yeah.
And so a lot of stuff on the interwebs show place like Ollie's with nothing but dead weight inventory or dead real estate taken up by Star Wars toys from over 4 to 5, 7 years ago that just still sit there. So what I'm trying to get at is none of these characters, right or wrong, they don't compel people to buy their figures. I don't know if it's the lack of quality in their acting or the sellability of the characters. Say they do make a character of Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character. I think that's the actress who played.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy that figure. Like I still have that. I think it's the Temple of Doom to Indiana Jones figure that I'm still waiting for my boss because I gifted her a short round because she crowned me short round at work. I didn't even know who short round was until she just explained to me, oh, I know who short round is. And so every morning I would greet her, morning, Mr. Jones. And I would just go, because she'd go, morning, short round. I go, morning, Mr. Jones. But speaking of transition characters, short round would have been the natural fit. And that they probably could have done something with short round as a handoff, if that makes sense. Maybe not dub it Indiana Jones, but they could have said The Adventures of Short Round or something that could have gained appeal. Yeah. I would buy a short round figure. I like I said, I gifted my old boss a short round figure. You know, it was kind of like one of those ways that we would remember our working together for as long as we did, and just kind of like we were in such a specialty team. It was just memories. So that's how we remember each other by it. But that's the only thing I would get off of the indie line. It's either him or short round. Every other character, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Somebody hammering outside your house, Lester?
Yeah. Work was being done. So in case you guys didn't know, they were addressing something going on in my neighbor's bathroom, or a ceiling had a crack. And then my toilet situation was such where water was leaking down to that ceiling. So in order to resolve their problem, they had to fix my problem because I'm in an apartment complex. And so what ended up happening at the end of the day was they replaced my toilet bowl for me. So, okay. Didn't have to put in a work order or anything, but I'm down with a new toilet. I've been here for 12 years. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, so now both the monkey and Lester are muted, so it's just us talking now.
Well, I'm just waiting for that racket to go away. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can't see you. What's wrong? What's wrong, the monkey? Are you okay?
Yeah, trying to find what I was gonna show you.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So, what's new, everyone? What's happening this week? Is everyone sorted out for Christmas now and ready and stuff, or is there some last minute things to be doing? How about you, Lester?
I've got most of the main gifts packed, and what I do usually when I fly out, which I'll be doing Sunday morning, I usually do last minute gift shopping because I'll usually pick up a trinket or two from the airport, typically because it's stuff you can only find in Oregon. At least that's my perception when I get these products, is that I can gift them to my mom and dad. So whether we're talking like a jam, a bottle of wine, a chocolate or something, something that they can enjoy over time.
Yeah.
And then I would do the same for my siblings. Well, my siblings already have their gifts. I took care of that through the Retro Gaming Expo that I went to a couple months ago now. So I just got to gift wrap them.
Okay.
Only great things are born of March. If you say so, man. If you say so.
Well, his birthday is coming up, and he's traveling for his 40th birthday in March.
Good deal. Yeah.
The big 4-0. I see.
It's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's the new 30.
I don't remember what I did for my 40th. I don't think I did anything. I don't think I celebrated it or did anything at all. I think I just stayed at home.
Yeah, usually I just go out to eat with my mom. We usually just go to Denny's.
Yeah.
And eat.
Yeah, 2021.
I think it's amazing that you mentioned Denny's during your Christmas stream, because remember, that's the place that after Tim Allen burnt the turkey, he took his son Charlie to Denny's, saying Denny's is the American Constitution.
Yeah, well, one year for I think it was Thanksgiving, my mom, it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, I think my mom wanted just to take us to eat at Denny's, and my dad, because my dad was working at a Christmas tree lot, and he had a fit, and he said, "Oh no, I want turkey." So we had to have turkey.
Hey, Delvian, I didn't see you pop into the chat, mate. Sorry. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. He's eating the sweets already.
First, I want to say I honestly didn't mean to take so long showing and talking about the thing that the film that I was trying to tell you guys about. It's just there's so few items of it produced that it took so long for me to track it down. I mean that I was just so passionate about it, like you guys get about your other things, and I really hope I didn't take too much of your time.
No,
you're all right, man.
You don't need to be so overly apologetic. You gotta, if you happen to do that, if you happen to get that in retrospect, I get it, because I've done that where I thought I was doing the right thing, and then when I think about it more, yeah. Or my parents would tell me right away that wasn't right. Someone you trust will let you know when it's an issue. I think we're adult enough to just say, hey, but I think you're good. I don't know about Tim or Monkey, but I just think I have no problems.
Well, I have no knowledge of the franchise. I don't know the property. I recognize the name, but
yeah, I'm not familiar with the franchise either. Maybe I think maybe the two actors I'm familiar with, but I'm not familiar with the franchise.
Right.
And I just want to say before I show you all something that Skeletor, I was sorry, Monkey Boy. I was so surprised that the route you took with having that being in the fridge that and then on his mouth. I mean, whoa, that made my stomach sick during the last video.
Well,
I never thought you would take it that route.
don't blame me. It's nothing to do with me. Blame Beastman and Whiplash.
Okay. 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 But
I don't
okay,
I don't get involved with Skeletor's channel. That's his business.
okay. One quick question about the cat, and that is the cat going to make another appearance, scaring Skeletor?
Who knows? I really don't know. She does what she wants. Sometimes
Yeah,
she comes
Okay.
in
camera
and investigates, but yeah, she's not. Yeah, she doesn't do my bidding.
I
She
I
just does what she wants.
recently
If she happens
I
to
re
jump up another time,
oh,
that's fine.
um I'll wait till the chat is caught up. How about that?
Okay, let's have a look and see what we've got.
yeah. Well, Travels and More. Jason had a question for you, Monkey Boy.
He says I haven't got that many pickups, Jason. I do have a couple of bits, I guess I could show, but they're not particularly exciting. And what's this? Oh, you got a good offer on an Action Force vehicle, so you've bought that. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's such a big line, isn't it? It's not one I could get into, to be honest. I'm not even gonna get a single Action Force or GI Joe figure because I know what I'm like. If I get one, I'll want three, and then if I've got three, I'm going to want seven, and it'll get out of
Uh,
hand, and I don't have the room for it. So
uh, uh, there is a uh, there's a couple collectors that I used to follow that they always said the answer is always yes. And after like 2 years of buying everything from Sideshow Studios and things like that, the one of them was actually called a hoarder by his family because his house was filled with Sideshow figures and Playmobiles and all those different things. And he had all the Skeletor line, he had all the Masters of the Universe, he had Star Trek, he had Batman, he had all the Wonder Womans, he had all of that. And so he ended up having to get rid of a lot of those, and he got into the Transformers because apparently they don't take up as much room.
well, it depends, doesn't it? I mean, but I think it's unfair to call him a hoarder. I mean, I would just say he was a collector. For me,
Right.
hoarding is when
Right.
people hold on to stuff that they don't need. That would be hoarding for me.
I agree. I was saying his family called him a hoarder.
Yeah. Yes, I know, and I'm saying that's. I think that was unfair to call him that because he's just a collector, wasn't he? So, I mean, if he was keeping, every single newspaper and every single magazine and all the packaging for everything, and then maybe you could say he was hoarding. But I mean, he just sounds like he was a keen collector to me.
And do you remember I had been getting really into getting all those classic films?
Yeah.
Well, look at what I acquired. First is my favorite Audrey Hepburn film.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
No.
It's not very many people are. They're all about her love interest films, but this one always falls between the cracks when it comes to people. This is one of her unknown films that nobody talks about, and I love it so much. Out of all the films, including my copy of Roman Holiday, I prefer this one that she's in. And right here, so the cover showed that outfit she's in, but then here's the other outfit. Can let me know what you right there.
Oh, you like to get your different variants of covers, don't you? I noticed that last week.
Yep, and another one of her films that nobody talks about anymore, but you would know it as a book that you a book that you read in school. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Bingo, right here.
Oof, no, thanks.
Yeah, I never read that in school.
I can confidently say that I will never read that or watch that.
I don't think that's required reading in school anymore. At least it wasn't when I was in school. I don't remember.
No, me either.
Can you see her?
Yeah, I see her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so many people, they just talk about, oh, Roman Holiday this, Roman Holiday that, but I think she was in. Was it her that was in Summertime?
I don't know.
Know.
Well,
you must be talking about some really obscure films. If Tim hasn't heard of them, they must be really.
I know she
really
was in
obscure.
Charade with I think Cary Grant.
Well, the good thing is I'm gonna be quiet now because those are all I could find of what I recently got. Though I'm sure I'll find more later, but I'll be quiet now.
I think it's interesting that you collect the different variants of the covers. That's quite interesting because I like variants of things, but I don't collect variants of DVD covers. But that's quite interesting.
Well, then, if I may ask, since it's on the topic, was Skeletor a variant?
No, that's just a vintage Skeletor figure that I made a costume for.
Oh, so it wasn't a official French release.
No. It's just a regular vintage Skeletor figure, and I just happened to dress him up as, I made a jumper for him and a hat and a scarf and stuff, and dressed him up like that.
Well, then you really sold me on it. You really made me think it was real with how you developed the accent and the personality and Skeletor's backstory that for Skeletor, and how you kept, like, for months kind of teasing it and having him like write in or something like that. I will say then, for you to fool even me, that makes you a wonderful master storyteller, in my opinion. Evil Lynn would be proud.
Well, there was only such a build-up because I got the idea of doing it and thought it would be simple to make the costume, and actually it was quite difficult and took me a lot longer than I thought. So that's why there was such a build-up. It's because once I'd mentioned it once, I had to keep it in everyone's mind. Otherwise, people would have forgotten about him. So the build-up was kind of accidental, but necessary. I just want to say hi to Kim. Kim's just joined us in the chat. Hello, Kim. And hey, Zantara, good to see you.
Yeah.
How long did it?
Yeah, Kim Jonick.
It took about 4 hours to make his costume.
But how long did it take you to make the onions?
I bought those from Etsy.
Oh.
Yeah. They're made out of polymer clay, and they were just miniature onions for use in dolls' houses and stuff. So I just bought those and put them on a string. So yeah. But the rest of the stuff we made.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Kim Jonick's asking how the special's going.
Hey, Kim. It's going all right. Monkey and I have got our Christmas hats on.
And sweater.
Oh, and sweater. Yeah. I don't have any Christmas clothing, I'm afraid, but
Yeah,
the Christmas hat is the only thing I've got.
and she remembers the nun story, the monkey.
Mhm.
Cool.
And
If it ever comes out on 4K, I will die, but I'll buy 2, one normal, and I'll track down the variant. Ha!
Yeah. Well, that's good. Oh, Kim's saying that she's finished work now. She's not back until the second week of January. Wow, nice, cool, very good. You'll be able to hang out with the piggies.
If I may say, that's really different because everybody in the United States is going back to work the first week of January.
I'm not so sure about that. There might be some people that have to work the day after.
Right, but the first week, since Christmas is on a Monday, so yes, even if they don't go back the 26th, I'm pretty sure they go back the 27th.
Right.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why I had a couple Blu-rays I ordered from Vinegar Syndrome, why the tracking number's telling me that they'll be here next Wednesday, which is the 27th.
Yeah.
And these are from a Black Friday sale. It's finally taken this long for them to come because I don't have a membership like subscription on their site, and I don't want to get a subscription because then you have to buy I think you have to practically buy every single release of theirs, which I don't want to do.
Right.
Yeah, I completely understand. Even I have a figure that got delayed that was supposed to be released months ago, but just because it fell on the holiday, it's the holiday season. It just got delayed, so I have to wait for it.
Right. Yeah, I ordered some stuff last week, but it's whether it arrives before Christmas or not, I don't know. I need to get a new washing machine as well because my washing machine died. So that was a nice surprise. Perfect.
My condolences.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. Luckily, a friend of mine has got a washing machine that he doesn't need, that he's offered to sell me. So that's really handy actually. It saves me having to try and go and find a shop for a new one. He's got one that absolutely fits the bill and is absolutely perfect for what I need. So I was really lucky. I was very unlucky and then very lucky. So
can you deliver a message to Skeletor for me?
yeah, yep. He's just here. I can do it.
Okay. When I gave you 2 or 3 different suggestions, Skeletor, of people to call, remember, I normally only answer once, but I had forgotten that I previously answered that.
That's okay.
So that's why.
Okay.
So that's why I gave multiple ones.
Yeah, no, that's fine. He's dealt with that today. Yeah, we did the scripting today. And yeah, it's all good. Don't worry. And everyone that's suggested people for Skeletor to call, he's going to call everybody. So there'll be a number of phone calls this weekend from Skeletor.
So I have a Christmas related question for all of you, if you're up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Which on-screen Santa is your favorite Santa Claus, and why?
I don't know. I don't really have a favorite on-screen Santa.
I think my favorite would be the the Santa from Santa Claus the movie, because I just
Which
remember that
one?
fondly. The Santa Claus the movie, the one that's called Santa Claus the movie.
From 1985.
Dudley
I think
Moore,
so, yeah.
right?
Yeah, Dudley Moore and John Lithgow were in that. And Burgess Meredith narrated it.
Who played the Santa Claus in that?
I don't
Dudley
know.
Moore?
No, Dudley Moore was one of the elves.
No, he was an elf.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was one of Santa's elves.
Oh.
But that was the Santa Claus that I first came across on film. That was that was I really enjoyed that film as a child. And I found that quite exciting, because I would have been 7 or 8 years old. So it got me at the right time, and I did like that movie. I thought that was quite magical. So that would be my go-to Santa Claus, just because of the nostalgia value. I also like the guy from Bad Santa. I've forgotten his name now.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. Because I quite enjoyed that film. So
rest in peace, John Ritter.
Yeah, he's been died of
that film. He died 20 years this year.
So which film was this he was in?
He was in Billy Bob Thornton played Santa Claus in 2003's Bad Santa.
Yeah, but who was John Ritter in this as well?
Yes, it was his last role, and he was the store manager of the mall.
Okay.
Bernie Mac played head of security, but the ones that fired and hired people was John Ritter's character.
Trying to think of mine. Might be it's probably something more retrospective, because I didn't see it until recently through one of my closest friends. His family often does a Christmas run through of Miracle on 34th Street. I think that's the name of the title, or the name of the movie. And I was aware of the one I think they redid in the 80s or 90s. I forget, but because I watched it more than once. The original black and white one, or whatever, predated the remake that was done in the 80s or 90s. So yeah. Oh, okay. It looks like
we've got lots of chat to catch up with, guys. Do you want me to deal with this, Tim?
Yeah, but I showed some of it on the screen already.
You showed some of it, but I think there's a few of them. I
don't know where I should go.
That's all right. I'll pick it up somewhere.
Sorry, Tim.
It's okay. I just wanted to go through the ones that are kind of related to what we were talking about. And
Gerard and Andrew, and Delvian, I must say your comment. I have read your comments, and they're quite funny. I won't get to them all, but all these dumb as a bag of hammers and all these sorts of things. So just to say that they have been noted. There was one that it did make me chuckle. Let me see if I can find it. Someone, I don't know who it was. I think it was either Gerard or Andrew saying something about not the sharpest hammer in the shed or something like that.
I think they're just messing around. They're just joking around in the chat piece.
Kim Ronick has written a nice rhyme for us. That was good. Thank you for that. Excellent. Andrew's saying it sucks when appliances go tits up. Yeah. I was up all night trying to fix it. I was on YouTube looking at videos of how to go into the diagnostic settings on the washing machine and try and fix it. And then I took the filter out and tried to clean that and see if there was a problem with that. I mean, I was up all night, and it was definitely a pain in the tits. Oh, Nick's here. Hey, Nick. Hey, man. I can't find that comment about that made me chuckle when I saw it come up.
Was it something that Andrew said about the screen being?
Oh, here it is. It's Andrew saying he's not the sharpest hammer in the tool chest. Excellent.
Yeah, it's because the screen. He said that the screen was frozen on his end, and
yeah. Gerard saying good evening to Zantara. Kim had a nice rhyme she's made for us. Should I sing it or should I just say it? Dashing through the snow on a pair of broken skis, over hills we go, bashing into trees. The snow is turning red, and we thought we'd be dead, but now we're in the hospital with stitches in our head.
I am done with that. That's
some echo.
Oh, what's that?
We were getting some echo from you, Monkey Boy.
Oh, sorry, man.
Well, now Lester's echoing a bit.
I apologize. I was just saying that rendition is so much better than Batman Smells, Robin laid an egg, Batmobile lost the wheel, and Joker ran away.
Yeah.
No, I like that one though. That was a good one.
That was good, yeah.
I like it too because the best part of being in the hospital is the hospital pudding.
Man, it's been a while since I've had hospital food.
I don't think I've ever had hospital food.
It was great when I got my tonsils taken out. They said your diet's going to be scrambled eggs and ice cream. Like, I'll drink to that. I'll go with that. It's like milkshake every day.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with hospital food. I don't think I've ever been in. I mean, I have been in hospital a few times, but not for long enough to be fed.
Right.
Okay, somebody might need to mute YouTube on their end if they have YouTube open, because I think maybe somebody's got YouTube open on their end as well as StreamYard.
I'm good here.
You're all on echo cancellation, and I tried reducing background noise on everybody. I don't know why there's echo.
I don't think there's an echo on mine.
Well, I'm hearing everybody echoing.
I'm not hearing any echo here, Tim. I think it might just be your end. I haven't heard it.
Yeah, it doesn't really let me.
My YouTube is muted, and I'm not on YouTube on my phone.
Okay, now there we go. I wasn't completely muted on my end. I thought it looked like it was muted, but I wasn't completely muted on my end. That was the problem. Sorry.
Go and stand in the corner, you naughty boy. So has anybody got a Christmas tipple this evening? I've got my sherry again. Is anyone joining me with a Christmas tipple?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Just drinking Dr. Pepper and some Coca-Cola earlier.
Hold on.
Monkey's going to go and find something alcoholic.
Which reminds me, I gotta try making hot Dr. Pepper again. That's a holiday drink.
Oh wow! How do you do that?
You just heat up some Dr. Pepper and you put like either a slice of lemon or some lemon juice in it.
Okay.
No alcohol
So
required.
you put it in a pan on the hob or something on the oven on the cooker.
Yeah, you can do that, but I just prefer to microwave it. It's easier.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try that. That sounds quite cool. I've never heard of that.
It tastes like you're drinking hot tea, basically.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'll try that out. My friend made me a nice cake yesterday, a nice lemon cake. It was very nice. Are you all right there, Lester? You look. I don't know if Lester's muted himself, maybe.
Yeah, the monkey and Lester are both muted.
Oh, I was just letting the racket go by because there was
Okay.
much worse racket going on. You know, like you said.
Well, I already clicked on reduce background noise.
Oh no, the racket
so
going on my side.
Okay.
Not done yet, and I'm just navigating my records for work that I got to turn over. But that's why I've got two streams. Right there goes the racket.
Is that sparkling cider?
So what?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Can't go wrong with sparkling.
Not when you're sticking to staying away from alcohol, sadly.
Well, we'll see. Like, I've done a better job. Like, I can afford a beer a day or a beer a week or whatever, but it's like I'm doing a better job. Like, there are other drinks I can have and enjoy without it being alcoholic. Not that alcohol is bad, but I just got to be in better control of that. Because
Yeah.
I
mean, the kind of stuff I do. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go on.
No, you were saying.
I was going to say, if I was told that I couldn't drink alcohol again in my life, it really wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't affect me at all. I do drink occasionally. I have a beer in the summer and I drink sherry at Christmas. But honestly, if I was told I couldn't drink alcohol anymore, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it at all.
Yeah, I get it. No, because I was reintroduced to Mexican Coca-Cola, and that's a major weakness of mine now. But if you go to like a Mexican shop, they usually have the Mexican variety of an American equivalent, like Mexican Sprite, Mexican Fanta. I think I told you guys this one already, but basically they don't have the high fructose corn syrup stuff in India.
Yeah.
But I like other flavored beverages that are supposedly zero carb or zero sugar, so I can feel less guilty about drinking them. And then there are some energy drinks that taste well. I mean, I think I only had Red Bull once in 1995, and that was it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like Red Bull.
Yeah.
I used to drink Red Bull and Jägermeister.
Oh,
occasionally.
Okay.
That's quite nice.
Yeah, I know that one.
The old Jaeger bombs.
Yep.
Hot cocoa with banana. Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah. Not bad.
Go back one. Old-fashioned sherry glass. No, I've got a Jack Daniel's whiskey glass that is my favourite glass to drink stuff out of. I just quite like the look of it because it's square. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's like a square shape, which is quite cool. I do have sherry glasses, but they're not big enough. You know, I mean, I've probably had about 4 sherries worth in here this evening. And sherry's a nice sippy drink. You only just get enough just to coat your tongue, and then you know, it's a very, very sippy thing.
Good to know.
Chardonnay, yeah, nice bit of Chardonnay. I do like wines.
Action Pop Dad's comments that you will read maybe want to laugh. So
What? Because he's saying that there's more than one Nick going to be emptying his sack this Christmas.
No,
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean, was it the Jingle Bells?
no.
Okay, it wasn't his version of Jingle Bells. What was it?
Santar was saying hello to APD. Good to see him here today. Yep, indeed.
Was it this one? Ironically, our comments have become an echo.
No. It's the one about selfies.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm just going through. Let's see where we're at. Greetings, Action Pop Dad. Good to see you here today. Nick, how are you? You are bring good, if not no gifts from Santa. And Kim Jonick, hot fizzy lemonade when I am ill. Gerard O'Connor was always flat 7-Up in my home growing up for downed troops. Kim and hot fizzy lemonade, hot Ribena, hot lemonade,
yeah,
an alcoholic form of lemonade here in the States. Jason, Santa fear me, especially after the selfies I sent this year. So is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew's saying that decades ago he used to drink Jaeger and Rumpelminz as a layer drink. Rumpel on bottom.
I could go for that right now.
Jaeger sits on top. I don't know what Rumpel is.
Heaven.
Okay, I've never heard of that. Okay, cool. So, have you got anything to show Tim this week? Have you got any new acquisitions this week?
No, because I'm still waiting on some stuff. And I was gonna say I bought this DVD, Zoltan, the Hound of Dracula, also called Dracula's Dog. And
you showed us the other week.
Yeah, I bought this right before Halloween, and I ordered the Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray is out of stock. Now Kino gets the Blu-ray back in stock, and I'm still waiting for it. So it's taken them forever just to get the Blu-ray out now.
Oh, okay. Do you think they've forgotten about it, or?
No, they know it, but I think they're just backed up with getting all the orders out now that they've got it back in stock.
Right. Okay. Did you say that was Vincent Price? No.
No Vincent Price. It's got Reggie Nalder from Mark of the Devil, who was in Salem's Lot, and then Michael Pataki, who was in Grave of the Vampire, and then Jose Ferrer, who was married to George Clooney's aunt.
Wow.
Was also in this.
I remember seeing that on TV years ago.
This would always come on late at night on TV back in the 80s. But it was better known as Dracula's Dog.
I think in the UK it was Zoltan, Hound of Dracula.
Probably.
Yeah. And I remember I wanted to see it because I used to be obsessed with werewolves when I was younger, and I was thinking that maybe it would be werewolfy, although it's not particularly. But
no, it's just about Count Dracula and his dog, and his dog is a bunch of bones in a coffin with a stake in it, and somebody's stupid enough to take the stake out, bringing the vampire dog back to life.
One is outside my door, and I'll have to get that later. But I did pick up, so I can show 2 out of 3, because I had to get one separately, but I was able to get 2 in person, and that is of a show that stopped in 2021 that just ever since then they've come up with 6 different games, but they have not came up with any new storyline whatsoever. The games are just like racing and brawls, but that is
SpongeBob SquarePants.
yeah, they haven't they just stopped and they haven't progressed the storyline or anything. The games that they have introduced SpongeBob into are just like Nickelodeon brawls and SpongeBob the game and things like that, but they have not brought back it for another season or nothing. And I got season 6 right here. And season 4 is outside my door.
Nick's saying that decades ago he used to drink milk from the source.
I think we all did, Nick.
I don't know if I did or not. Actually, I don't think I ever asked my mum if I did or not. I really don't remember. Obviously, I don't remember.
What can I say? I did about even 15 to 16 years ago, and well, what can I say? I was with a MILF.
Okay.
I won't go into detail.
Yeah, don't.
No
yeah,
details.
let's not get too personal. We don't want to get too personal here.
I won't.
But congratulations, well done.
Yeah, don't whine about it. I'm not trying to be mean, so calm down.
So just saying, he got a notification that the Red 5 Designs 2nd edition Star Wars book has just been shipped from the US. Okay, cool. I hoped it would arrive before Christmas, but a nice New Year gift to look forward to. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's a very good book, a very weighty book. I don't have it myself. I missed out on it, and the price went up for the 2nd edition, and I just couldn't justify paying. You know, I mean, it was nearly £200 by the time you paid the shipping, and I can't justify that for a book that I wouldn't really look at that much, to be honest. I mean, it would be interesting, and I'd certainly like to flick through one, but as for paying that kind of money for one, I just couldn't justify it, I'm afraid. I bought the Masters of the Universe ones. I got the Pixel Dan Masters of the Universe book, and Jason very kindly sent me the Masters of the Universe World Encyclopedia book. So I've got those, and I'm more likely to get more use out of those than the Star Wars book, I'm afraid. But how about you, Tim? Were you interested in that Star Wars, the Kenner figures book?
No, I don't really need any more Kenner books on Kenner Star Wars. Okay. And we got somebody here called the Hot Stepper.
Boom. What's up?
Oh, okay, good. It's Nick. I was just about to say, Tim, no, I don't know that name. Don't do it. Don't do it. But we're safe. We're safe. It's Nick.
Oh my very God. Safe. You're very safe in my hands.
I honestly thought we were going to have something on that we didn't want again. I was like, oh no, please no, Tim.
Yeah, hey, and we've Dean. Got hey, all things 80s. Dean is in the chat saying hello hey, there.
Dean. Thanks for stopping by, man. Did any of you see Dean's Graceland video with the photos that he took from Graceland?
Not yet, but it's on the list.
It was really good, and I must say I was very I was surprised at the amount of gravestones that there were there. I was not expecting that. I was expecting obviously something for Elvis, and perhaps one or two others, but I mean there was so many gravestones. But no, the pictures that Dean put on his video, they're really good. He must have had a wonderful time. It looks really good.
Monkey Boy, Kim Jonix pointing out, is it just me or is Monkey Boy going all static? And I noticed that you're getting this weird distortion on your mic. I don't know if it's your internet connection or what it is.
I don't know. I haven't done anything different, so perhaps maybe if I try and speak quieter and see if that helps. I think I might be speaking a little bit now.
Let me try adjusting your mic settings again.
Yeah. Fiddle with me all you want.
Okay, well,
there is an invite I cannot refuse.
Let's see if that helps. Okay, try talking again.
Evening, Nick? What are you drinking, Nick, this evening?
Well, I'm drinking a rather fine Italian beer called Beer Moretti.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. Given that I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror this morning where I've had a week of inactivity and drinking, and I looked kind of like a shaved orangutan, I thought, well, let's just enjoy this and worry about it in 2024. That's very much a New Year problem to resolve.
Yeah. Well, let's take a moment to acknowledge the Christmas potato.
Potato.
Good evening, Kim.
Good evening.
It's good to see you there. Well, it's good to see Potato there.
And I've got my Christmas
I even had a great Christmas potato name. I called myself Santa Tatty Claus.
Sue UTC is in the chat. Hello, Sue. Thanks for joining us, man.
I went to an adult club once, and there was a woman called something Claus. I got a new toy today.
Oh, you did?
What'd you get?
I did. Give me 2 seconds, and I'll go grab it. I'll just kill my camera because you don't need to see my empty background. I'll be right back.
Ooh. What could it be? New microphone, maybe?
Shut up, you. I caught that sarcasm, Mr. Monkey Boy.
He's the only person that feels that pain is me.
Oh, hello.
Nobody wants to see the turtles. Take the turtles away.
I do.
But this one's a special one. It looks like it's a Triceratops or a bull.
It's Triceraton from the Super 7 reaction line.
Nice.
Very. It is so much more detailed. Yeah, if you take reaction figures off the card, they basically just become
tat. Yes,
100%. So
yeah, I've got a few reaction. I love all my reaction figures. I think they're fantastic, but I keep them on the card, and that's where they'll be staying. I don't want to take them off.
100%, because off the card they're just not detailed enough, really.
No.
Well, but you know, I know you've seen the other two, but the collection's growing.
Nice, yeah. Cool.
So yeah, Triceraton's pretty cool. There's so many of them now, though. So many.
Where did you get them from? Was that Comics and Cocktails, or?
A friend gifted this to me today for Christmas.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I was very happy with that. Do you know the worst looking figures in the line? I mean, you can't really see because I'm a bit small.
Yeah,
but,
very small.
They're small, but I mean, if you zoomed the camera, and I could maybe show it, but the worst looking.
Hold on.
The worst looking figures in the line are actually the four brothers. They look terrible.
Yeah.
So you mean the four turtles?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of skinny for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and then you look at the detail on that Triceraton there. Excuse the reflection.
Yeah, they make him like a He-Man action figure practically.
He's wicked. But then when you look at the foot soldier, and I've shown this on previous weeks, but he's a bit. But then you get Mutagen Man, and awesome.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really good. I like those card backs. I think they look brilliant.
Yeah, I tried to get Kim a set of the Four Brothers for Christmas, but I couldn't find any anywhere, so
No.
she'll just have to wait to the new year.
No. No more turtles.
Oh,
Nick, it
Jason's
sounds like she's
saying
about ready to
check out-
slap you.
Jason's saying
Probably.
to check out B&M as they've got them in. Jason, do you mean the reaction figures?
They do, and that is where they came. I know that's where they came from. However, my B&M hasn't had any in, but tomorrow I have a free day, and I'm thinking of taking a drive to B&M just to have a look. And if they got a couple in, I'll pick a couple. I quite like them. I mean, until I move, I haven't really got anywhere to display them. But
Are you planning on moving?
When we only just lost out a bid on a house a couple of weeks ago, so it's just waiting for the next property to come along that, and then see if we.
Okay.
Yeah. I want out of this place big time.
Oh, you want to stay in the same area though, presumably?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't want to move areas. Just this house is old and falling apart, and there's only so much I can do.
Right. Yeah.
So, get out of this place and get somewhere else. But yeah, no. But we've got Christmas here. Hopefully, our last Christmas at this house. But if it's not, it's not. Time everything pans out eventually where it needs to pan out. But
Yeah.
if all else fails, I can live in a tent. Carla might not be happy. Jax would love it. Carla wouldn't be so happy.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, Nick, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles something you got for Christmas as a kid?
Yeah, massively. I was around for. It didn't really kick off until late 89, 1990, if my memory recalls, in the UK. I know it was a bit earlier in the States, but there used to be a bit of a delay. And Turtle Mania was real. Like,
That must
I
have
was
hit
there.
you at just the right time, mustn't it?
4 years old, mate. Bang in, 4 or 5 years old, bang into it. Loved it.
Yeah.
So when were you
Absolutely
born?
loved it. 1984.
Okay. So you were 7 years after me. You were born 7
Yeah.
years after me.
Mm.
I
So
was born 77. Same year as Star Wars.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was right on that was the toy line that was released at the time when I stopped playing with toys,
Yeah,
basically.
I think it became really popular in 87 when I was like 10. But by then, it was something I just couldn't really get into.
can I be small, please?
You might want to take Nick off
Nick.
there.
Okay, let's exit solo.
Brilliant. That could have gone on for ages, couldn't it?
It would have gone on all night. It wouldn't have, Tim could have been mean and been like, right, we could literally have like an hour and a half of APD just doing this.
No, I wish I'd have been either a year older or a year younger when TMNT came out, because if I'd have been a year older, I wouldn't have been interested at all, and it would have completely passed me by. And if I was a year younger, I would have bought them, and I would have had them still in my collection. But I think I had one. I think I had Leonardo, and that was it. And I kind of lost interest in toys at that point. So it's only very recently that I've sort of got a bit of a fondness for the line. Not quite nostalgia, because, like I said, I missed out on it because I was a little bit too old. But I felt that it was the line that I really needed to kind of bridge that gap between the 80s and 90s toys, because it did very much bridge that gap. Because I'm really not into 90s toys, really, to be honest. There are very few lines that I appreciate from the 90s, because just something didn't sit right with 90s toys for me.
And what's that you got for Monkey?
Oh, what's Monkey got?
Yeah, he's got something.
Toy Castle.
So is that a movie?
That looks
Monkey.
horrific. That looks horrific.
Yeah, it looks like an old movie.
The Toy Castle.
Yeah, Dance for Joy.
Okay, that looks absolutely creepy. I can confidently say I would not want to watch that.
Oh, it's like 12 uplifting ballet stories.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
No, you can keep that.
Okay.
Oh, and the other thing, the other thing that that I couldn't get down last week was this is what was on my Palatoy story. The Bob Breakin book is in hand.
Yeah,
Nice.
that looks like that cover makes it look like an old school toy catalog, like Kenner used to put out.
Exactly what Brian Hickey went for.
So he did his own version of Kenner's toy catalogs with Pelly Toy.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the book is written by Bob Breakin, the chief designer of Palatoy, and as he says, it's his Palatoy story, so it's as he remembers it, and it is just documenting the history of Palatoy and his experiences, and it's just full of so much cool stuff.
Excellent.
And
yeah, Delvian Seek, that's true. It became Hero Turtles in the UK.
Yeah,
they censored it.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, like I said before, in the UK in the 90s, if you said ninja, 15 pensioners died on the spot. There was like a curse on it or something.
Yeah.
They just banned ninja everywhere. But now it's fine to say it now.
They changed because obviously they changed the title of TMNT to TMHT. And they changed I believe, is this right, Nick? They changed the theme tune as well so that they were singing Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah, so the key things that they did in the UK, they attempted to edit out all nunchuck scenes of Michelangelo, which, if you recall watching even in the States and later seasons of the Turtles, Michelangelo went from using nunchucks to like a grappling hook. That's simply because the people who were making the cartoons were getting pissed off with keep editing two different versions of the cartoon. So they changed up what Michelangelo used. And yeah, they did change the intro with a really bad sort of overlaid Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. And they did redub the song. There's a couple of differences. I think in the American version, it's Splinter taught them to be ninja teens, and in our version it was Splinter taught them to be Splinter taught them to be
fighting teens.
Yeah, that was it, something like that. And it's like fighting to me, like ninja just says ninja, but fighting's like, yeah, they're going to go out and headbutt you on the docks. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But
I first came across the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, and I was used to that. So then when I heard the real theme tune, it didn't sound right to me. I was like, that doesn't sound right, because I was used to it.
It's still jarring to me now. Hearing the proper American version of the song sounds wrong to me, because the years that it became part of my psyche, that, you know, it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Even to the point that when I got the Turtles reissue van that they did, just the reissue of the original one, from Zach Paris, I ordered the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles stickers and replaced them, because I would never have had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van as a kid. I would have had a Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles van. So that's my little mod I did on mine.
So that was the party wagon, yeah?
Yeah, so my party wagon, albeit the Playmates reissue, it's the same, but actually a couple of improvements. They fixed a few of the weak spots. Mine's all stickered up to say Hero Turtles instead of Ninja Turtles, because that's period accurate for what I would have had.
Did it come?
That's a
did
reissue,
it come stickered?
So who cares?
When the reissue came out, was it already stickered, or did you have to?
Yeah, and the stickers were terribly applied. So even if I ever wanted, because I said to Carlo when I got it, I was like, I got it out of the box. A friend sold it. He had a spare one, and he sold it to me for cost. What he got it from B&M for like 20 quid, because people were putting it up on eBay for like 100 quid, and I'm like, do one? I could buy an original one for that. What are you doing, you mentalist?
Yeah.
So I took it out the box and I was really gutted. The stickers all had air bubbles and ripples in them. So I said to Carla, I'm going to order some recreation stickers from Zach Paris and do this properly, because it's a reissue. So who cares, right? It's not like I'm altering a vintage toy. Yeah. And then I was on the Zach Paris page on eBay and they had the Hero Turtles ones. And I was like, that's how I remember it. So that's what I changed it to. It needed literally. The people in the factory must hate their job because they must have just like gone, where's the sticker go? I think it goes there. It was terrible.
Okay.
So you anyone who got one of those reissue ones, like you can get the stickers from Zach Paris delivered to the UK for like 9-10 quid. Even if you want to keep it Ninja Turtles, it's worth re-stickering. And actually, his stickers are better quality than the ones that the reissue came with. Go figure, you know.
Okay.
Oh, Zach Paris stickers are the sort of the best of the best recreations you'll get. They are
sort of
awesome. Yeah. Proper die cut, immaculate recreations. Perfect. So if you have a toy that's missing its stickers, he's the guy. All things Motu, Star Wars, Turtles, everything. He covers the lot.
Oh, okay. I don't think I need any stickers for anything, but I'll bear that in mind. I'm not going to be getting any of the Turtles vehicles because I don't really remember anyone having them even when I was younger. I have as you know, Nick, I've recently acquired a reasonably large Turtles collection, which I will be showing on the channel this weekend.
A beautiful collection, might I say, sir?
Thanks, man. I'm quite happy with it. And apart from one character, which I'll get into in the video, I've got really all the ones I want. I think I'm not really interested in having any of the others. And I was really last week I bought the storage shell figures, so I'm quite happy with those as well.
Nice. I was really chuffed when you sent me the pictures of those as a sneak peek. Could have done without the one of you holding the storage shell turtle in front of your naked self, but
yeah, sorry about
it's fine. It's all right, mate. It's all right.
It was an error of judgment. I thought it would be all right, but
it was an error. It wasn't really an error of judgment. It was more an awkward moment.
Yeah, well, we all make mistakes.
What's this about an error of judgment? I was in the bathroom.
Oh, no, I was. Don't worry, Tim.
As us British would say, I was taking the piss.
Okay, so nothing bad happened in the chat room in the chat.
No, nothing bad happened. Nothing bad happened.
Let's have a look. Let's see where we're going. Andrew is saying that I'm old enough to really appreciate the toys. Kids didn't really get it. Okay, fair enough. Kim is saying ballet is good, but it's okay to be wrong. That's fine.
She often is on the podcast. To be fair, you know.
Do you want me to just leave?
No, but
no.
Don't be so rude.
I have a ballet. I have a ballet phobia, I'm afraid. I have quite a strong aversion to ballet. It makes me feel physically sick. And if I see ballet shoes, it just makes me gag. When I've put them on Skeletor's channel and I've had to put a screen image of ballet shoes on there, I just feel physically sick. There's something I just can't bear it. Cannot bear it.
The annoying thing about ballet as well is, like, you can't even take the mick out of them. You certainly shouldn't take the mick out of a male ballet dancer, because not only are they the fittest, strongest people you'll ever meet, but they could quite comfortably kick you in the head and not ever be off balance.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I can appreciate that it's a very difficult thing to do, but I just cannot bear it. I can't watch it. And it's the same with opera. If I hear opera,
I love opera.
Oh, you love opera and ballet? Are there ballet operas?
Yeah.
Like mashups of ballet and opera. Do they do that? Is that a thing?
Sometimes they'll do opera where they'll possibly have contemporary ballet. in the background.
Wow,
I'm going to
Not that often.
I'm going to say something that's going to make Monkey hate me, but I actually love the opera of Carmen.
Oh,
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh,
Had to study it at school. Had to study it at school, man. It was really...
Just lack of sophistication on this stream, that's all it is.
What? I'm saying I love Carmen. I love the
but
works
that's
of
like what?
Shakespeare.
That doesn't mean you're cultured.
It's
Lack
fine.
of sophistication here.
You can find wisdom or something wisdom laden in any discipline. So whether that's one's love for opera and ballet or one's love of violent sports. Like I know Nick loves his boxing. There's some sophistication to that, as much as people will say there's not.
Yeah, but I love ballet and opera, but I also like rugby.
Oh, good.
So,
She's Scottish. It's a given.
Do you like football?
no,
Yay.
football's a wimpy sport.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Sorry, soccer is a wimpy sport.
All I know is this weekend, Saturday night, our house, the TV's hijacked.
Okay.
Big boxing event on. Don't care. Sorry, wife. Sorry, kid. You've got tablets and laptops. This is my evening. I'm watching the boxing. Huge event. Can't wait.
The thing I always found with boxing is they put these big events on, but you never actually know what you're going to get for your money because you might only get one round.
That is so true. That is.
However,
that is the only reason why I don't pay for those big ticketed things. On
this is why the more casual observer doesn't do as well as. See, I will watch a boxing card start to finish, every fight on the undercard.
Oh, sure.
I love the sport. And if you enjoy it to the level I do, then it's value for money if you get 1 round or 12 rounds in, because there's two main events Saturday night. AJ v Otto Wallen and Deontay Wilder v Joseph Parker. As much as I want Joseph Parker to win, I think he's going to sleep. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong more than I've ever been wrong, but I think Parker's going to sleep anyway. But I can understand how on a normal event, you know, if you're watching the big name and it's a 1 round fight, you're going to feel robbed because you spent 25 quid and it's over in a minute, you know.
It's a bit like sort of tennis. I don't particularly like tennis, but if I'm going to watch a tennis match and then someone wins in straight sets, I feel a bit like, oh, that wasn't really tennis. That was just a whitewash. And I felt like that with a couple of boxing matches. You know, you've got all this hype, and the walk to the ring is longer than the actual fight was.
Sometimes the ring announcer is longer than the bloody fight. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, the thing with me in certain sporting events, I could see where Monkey Boy's coming from. So in the game of American football or basketball, if it's a blowout, it's like, that's great. And if I have nothing at stake in the game, like if I know my team is going to win straight away or lose straight away, it's like, I'm not going to bother tuning in. But Nick also has a point when it comes to getting a card from start to finish. So I would watch a lot of the undercards more than the main events. So it's at least with the undercards and the preliminary fights. I don't know if boxing has those, but UFC.
Well, I mean, you got to remember that UFC is boxing was long before UFC ever existed. So most of what Dana White does is taken from the blueprint of boxing for decades.
And it pains me when they move to that direction because as much as boring as it would look for most eyes, like you said, the casual observer, there is some skill being exhibited by grapplers if you let them play the game. So yeah, there's an argument for both, you know, when it comes to that feeling of boredom. So I get it.
So in America, can I ask sorry, someone's from talk. I did have a sports question, but let the man talk.
Oh, who's gonna? Yeah, go ahead.
To the Santa Potato, you mentioned ballet, right?
You talking about Kim Jonick and her ballet remark? Yeah, she said something. Yeah, go ahead. Oh,
What have you got?
See
You
that.
can't really see it
it's
very
like
well.
Tchaikovsky,
bigger.
something Lovsky, something.
It's
Beauty,
Sleeping Beauty, I think.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you like
Is
this
that-
one?
Is that a ballet?
It's okay. It's not my favorite.
Right there, look.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not something I would choose to pay and go and see again, personally.
Oh,
Kim, do you like dancing? Not yourself,
Yes.
but I mean, do you like dancing?
Yeah.
So what? Okay. So is it the same attraction to ballet as it is to dancing?
Well, when I was
Or is there
younger,
a
I did like ballet, tap, character, jazz, Scottish, some hip hop,
Wow.
and I
Okay.
did a little bit of ballroom and stuff because my grandpa was very good at ballroom.
Okay.
My
Now,
grandpa
am I right in
competed.
that does ballet have a story? Is that what sets it apart from other kinds of dancing? That it's got some sort of a story, or
It is. It's a very old type of dancing, but not. Well, it's not why I particularly like it. I just like the fact that it can story tell without having to use words.
is there never any dialogue in ballet then?
No, usually the dance. It's the same as like contemporary dancing. There's never any dialogue particularly because the whole point is that the choreography is meant to be the expression.
Yeah,
Okay, that's quite interesting.
that's
Oh.
fair.
Because
I
like
don't- I
you'll
still don't
know
think
the
I could-
story. Because you'll know the story of like the Nutcracker and all that type of thing as a story. But when you go see the ballet, there's no dialogue. It's literally just the dance that is to express the story of like the Nutcracker or Cinderella or things like that.
That's very creative then. If they have to sort of translate existing pieces into just dance, I suppose.
Yeah,
that's
so
I-
this because the
I'm not really
Scottish Ballet Company did Cinderella 2 years ago. They toured and
Okay.
did Cinderella
I think
because it got
I
rave
watched-
reviews.
I think it was Peter and the Wolf I watched a ballet of, and I managed to watch the whole thing. I think it was Peter and the Wolf.
It just
I managed to
depends.
watch
Like
the whole thing.
I like ballet, but I don't like every ballet. There's certain ones that I really love that I would pay to go and see time and time again. But
Right.
there's some that I wouldn't necessarily choose to. Like I've maybe seen it once, but I wouldn't necessarily choose to always see it. It's the same with opera.
excuse me if you have
There's certain ones that I will go back. I'll be willing to pay and go back and see them time and time again. And there's certain opera singers I prefer to see, but I don't like all opera.
So are ballet shows is the choreography in ballet shows the same for different productions? So if one company is doing a production of Swan Lake, for example, and then
No,
another
not
company does
necessarily.
that, so it could be
Not
different choreography.
necessarily. It won't be completely different choreography. Like there's basic choreography, but also you'll have choreographies in ballet companies. So they may choose to do the choreography for a production of.
Oh,
So
okay.
they'll remake the choreography and they'll direct all the choreography. So it's like, so every time you have a dance company, like a ballet company, within that ballet company, you'll have your composers and you'll have your choreographers and directors and stuff for the stage show and everything. And there's not like a set way of doing choreography. Like they could actually change how they do the choreography depending on how they want to portray their production of Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty or so it's not always the same.
Can I just respond to something quickly? I can't respond. My chat's not working on my Chromebook. Sorry, I think it was Jason said Frank versus Tyson. So I presume he means Frank Bruno versus Tyson was over in 5 minutes. I think the first fight, if memory serves, was over in the 5th round. And if I'm right, that's the fight where Bruno hurt Tyson but didn't follow up on it. And in the second fight, I think it was the 3rd round, it was over. But that was like back in the 90s. And the 3rd fight had to happen as a condition of Bruno having the title. And so he basically won the title, had it for 5 minutes because he only got the fight because he signed with Don King. That to have the title fight, he had that if he won, he had to fight Tyson. Sorry, I'll stop being boring now, but I think that's what it was, Jason.
Yeah, but it's also like, I don't know, Nick, if you know much about it, but there has been known for boxers and stuff to go and have ballet classes to help them with their footwork.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not unheard of at all. Not unheard of at all. Dance classes for balance, and so that they, and there's a few guys in the heavyweight division who could probably do with it because they throw their punches and they're so off balance. But it is what it is. But I had a sports question. It was for our American cousins because I know around the holidays and stuff, and it's about football because you mentioned American football.
Yeah.
Is it still a big thing for like Thanksgiving that you have? Is that a thing? Did I imagine this? You have a massive.
Yep.
There's a massive like nationwide football game, and you all go nuts and watch it.
I don't watch football that often.
I'm a football nut, so it's you got your triple headers or quadruple headers. So if your family or friends are big football junkies, they would probably watch football from morning until evening time, just because of the way the television rules and regulations work out and the revenue sharing within the pro football league. They're required to do commercial breaks. So what is in format a 60-minute game, it turns into a 3-hour sporting event. So if you got 3 of those going on, 4 of those, it's easily a 12-hour day if you're watching nothing but football.
So, wow.
I couldn't cope with that.
I think even for my boxing, I mean, it's normally a 4-hour window, and I'm about done.
No,
too much concentration.
I think what gets me is that depending on the sport, some of them are better spectated live as opposed to in front of a screen. So my example is baseball. I can't do baseball on TV. I can do baseball in a stadium. It's a different event. And that's the same for any sporting event, I would imagine. If I want to watch an actual American football game live at the stadium, it would be a different feel and experience because there's more stuff going on at the stadium or arena than during a commercial break.
When I was in America, I wanted to go to. I was in LA, and I wanted to go to. I think it was a baseball game.
Sure.
And we didn't get to go because, as it transpired, I got really drunk at the bar that Lemmy used to drink at, and I was in no fit state. But I had a great time. However, I only wanted to go to see if it was true if they actually throw peanuts at you. Because you see all these films in America and these shows where they go peanuts and they throw peanuts. I'm like, how do people pay for that? How does that work? Is that just an American film thing? How does that work?
It might be, depending on the stadium, though. I think it depends on the nature of the fans in that town. And every town is different because they talk about certain stadiums being located, especially when sports teams demolish their previous stadium, because these stadiums were probably constructed in the 40s and 50s, and they let them sit for like decades, and then sometime later they vote to build a new stadium, and depending on where they locate it, it will price a certain percentage of the fans out of the new stadium. So you don't get the ruckus fans you might have gotten for those who grew up around those teams. I don't know if it's like that in the UK or Scotland.
Well, no, in the UK, a building that was built in the 40s or 50s is still considered bloody young.
Sure,
we just don't. We build new stuff occasionally, but we just don't building. I mean, even my house is like over 200 years old.
I am curious though, in terms of that, knowing that for them, for you guys, it's still new. But how do the fans treat the establishment or the infrastructure of a stadium? Because one of the reasons why people want a new stadium is because a lot of the stuff looks run down. Now, the thing among the rabid fans is it may be a dump, but it's our dump. So I don't know if the folks in the UK, when it comes to their sporting events and their stadiums, I don't know if they feel the same way.
I think a UK audience at a sporting gig, a music gig, any gig, as long as there is alcohol flowing, they don't really care. Because it's just my experience of any sporting event or any musical event I went to. You don't look at the stadium around you. You go, "Where's the bar?"
Right.
That's just our culture, man.
No, I get it.
It's bad. It's not good, but that's just what it is.
Well,
Where's the bar?
I'm the same.
And then
way.
you go, "Jesus Christ, £9 for a pint? What?"
Yeah. I get it. It's just that's what it is like for me. Like when I go to a baseball game with my brother, we're just going, where's the concession stand? So whether we're buying a beer or if we're buying popcorn or whatever snack they might have offered, like hot dogs are common in baseball. And that's what I usually get when I go to a major league event.
Here's one that blew my mind when I went to America.
Okay.
Right? I went to the cinema twice in America. The first time I went and saw Dinner for Schmucks, and that was in LA. This is how long ago it was. And the second film I saw was in Vegas. It was because they had the world premiere of The Expendables at the hotel we stayed at. So the next day, me and Carla went to watch the film at like a small cinema in Vegas. But it was like refillable drinks, refillable popcorn. What? That doesn't happen in the UK. What happens in the UK? You go to the cinema, you pay a ridiculous amount for the tickets,
right?
And then you hit your overdraft.
Sure.
If you want popcorn and a drink, you then remortgage your house. And then if you want anything else, you have to go and mug someone outside for a few extra quid because it's that expensive. I just couldn't believe.
I hear you.
That it was like, what? You mean I can go up and get more popcorn and more drink?
I don't mind. I don't mind getting nickel and dimed if I know what it's for and I find it reasonable. Because getting that stuff isn't cheap. And we're talking about, because I don't know how the stadium businesses work or what their logistics are or what kind of supply chain they use. But I would imagine the supplying of whatever beverage has got to cost something.
So there's two cinemas really local to me. There's there's three actually if you go 20 miles into a town called Poole, and the tickets are ridiculously expensive. Now the little cinemas near me, that's like £5 a ticket, and you go, that's not bad. But the thing is, you have to buy their refreshments. So I can take me, Carla, and Jax into the cinema for like, I think we're a tenner and Jax is £3 because he's a kid. However, I never get away without spending nearly 25-30 quid at the concession stand because Carla will want nachos. I'm a sucker for a hot dog. Jackson will want popcorn and whatever branded cup they've got there with whatever film character is on it. And you go up there and you think, oh, that's cheap, 50, under 15 quid, but it ain't under 15 quid. It's nearly a 50 quid for three of us to the cinema. It's nearly 50 quid, like every time without fail. It's just, but then the little cinema near me, fair play to them. They do say, we'd appreciate you not bringing in your own snacks, sneaking them in, because we charge such little money for the tickets. The only way we stay open, because it is a small family-run cinema, is to charge on the snacks.
That's the same with any theater in the U.S.
With any theater, and I think if it's true, I heard that
the studios take most of the profits on the ticket sales.
Right, and I think it's the George Lucas effect or something, where theaters will not realize the profits and ticket sales until a certain period after the initial opening. If I understand that correctly, but that's just the way it is by design. As much as it pains many, But that's right. That's why a lot of theaters will only make money off of the concession, which I get and I understand. I get it. Yeah.
The worst cinema in the UK is probably Cineworld, because not only do they charge off the chain for the tickets, like 10, 12 quid a ticket,
Okay.
but then they also have the ridiculous concession prices as well. That's why we never go there, because it's like, no, because it's bad enough. That, to me, I mean, when we were growing up, cinema was a treat. Like, I remember growing up, we maybe went and saw one, maybe two films in the summer, because there was like 5 kids.
Okay.
So like going to the cinema was a treat.
It was.
And it was typically, you'd normally go and see whatever summer blockbuster was out. You know, that was the thing. That was the big one. And you know, it's like going to the cinema it's like, well, I say to Carla the other day, she saw a film on the Skybox and she's like, oh, 16 quid for that film. I said, just order it, because I'm not being funny, babe. Like, we can all sit and watch it as a family, but we ain't got to spend like 30 odd quid at the cinema on snacks, because I can go to the cupboard behind us and do it. So it's
I get it, but it's just no. That's why if I'm going to watch a movie in the theater, it's either I find the right theater house, because depending on the theater house, I don't have to pay as much for the concessions. Like, if there are no movies worth my while, I'll just go in and I'll buy a bag of popcorn and a soda. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than your standard one at the store, but I'll just go and watch it. I'll just grab a concession or two and not watch a movie. Only just showing my support for the theater house until they do show a movie I want to watch. Because
I have a question for Kim Gonick though, and I'm not sure I'm taking the mic or not. Do you have Iron Brew at Scottish cinemas?
No.
Like on no, because like they do the draft drinks,
not the chain ones.
Because the one thing I miss about America. So you love your Iron Brew, but the one thing I miss that we don't get in the UK, we just don't get it. In America, I fell in love with root beer. Oh, I love root beer.
I heard someone make a noise.
See, Carla smells it, goes, oh, it smells like Cavonia, like a cough medicine we get. I love root beer. It's just.
And then I don't like,
especially AW root beer.
No, I don't like root beer.
It's all right.
It really divides. It really divides people. I'm a big root beer fan. Mug root beer is all right, but AW was the one for me. I can remember being sat in my room in Vegas. It must have been about 2 a.m, watching LA Ink, because there was nothing else on.
Yeah.
Sat in just a pair of shorts, because even with the AC, it was still hot as balls. Eating a giant bag of Cheetos and drinking from like I think it was a 3-liter bottle of root beer I brought. Just like, I was like, I'm living the American dream.
Sure.
It was amazing.
Still think Watsits are better than Cheetos.
I like Watsits.
I like a Watsit, but I do like a Cheeto. A Cheeto is.
But they don't do things like quavers and stuff.
Well, the only difference is the standard cheese flavor, and then the flaming.
I would like to see the chemical difference between our Watsit cheese powder and the cheese powder.
Here's the thing for our American friends. Your Fanta is a fantastic orange color. It's an orange soda, if ever there was one.
Yeah.
Right. Ours is like pale orange juice colored. Like it's just complete. And your Coca-Cola just tastes so different to ours. Like unbelievably different in my opinion.
Well, is yours closer to the Mexican Coca-Cola as opposed to what you will find in the market nowadays?
We're not allowed to put that thing in it that you put in, that they put in a lot of your drinks. Yeah, we don't put that in our drinks.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Well, we don't really have corn syrup in anything, but that's because of the sugar tax.
Yeah, it's the sugar tax in the UK.
Yeah, it was so that they stopped. It was basically to stop companies using so much sugar in their products. Otherwise, they have to pay more.
What's everybody's opinion on musicals?
Love
musicals. Depends on which one.
I mean, it's such a broad spectrum. I mean,
indeed.
Me and Kim have just done a massive thing on my favorite musical of all time, but it's not a musical that would, be in the forefront.
Musical though.
Yeah, it's definitely a Rocky Horror is a musical.
Show is a musical.
They sing in it,
Would you like to? What? What were you saying?
But then, in which case is Little Shop of Horrors a musical? I class Little Shop of Horrors as a musical.
Yeah, see, I just wouldn't look at those movies and go, "Oh yeah, that's a musical." Like a musical for me is like, but a musical.
Yeah, but you're thinking Sound of Music and stuff, aren't you?
No, it's more yes, sort of. But for me, musicals were more like Calamity Jane, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers,
Calamity
New York, New York. Like the stuff where they actually did proper dancing and proper singing.
Oh, I see.
I'm sorry, but the Time Warp is a proper dance, and I'll challenge anyone on that.
Yeah, but they're not. But like there was proper tap dancing and proper different types of actual dancing style with singing.
Okay.
All right, should we call Rocky Horror the punk of musicals, the punk rock of musicals? Yeah. It's a musical, man. They sing in it.
I'll throw this in there. The underrated musical in my mind for me is South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Because there was some dancing going on. There was some singing going on.
I got that on VHS for like my 14th birthday, and it had karaoke tracks at the end of the film.
Yes! Exactly. I'm just saying. That's just me.
The caliber that is awful today.
That was actually my first introduction to Saddam Hussein.
Really?
To who, sorry?
Yeah.
Saddam Hussein. All right, okay.
Really? That movie? Wow.
And then the very next day I turned on the news and they were tearing down a statue, and I was like, the movie's not that bad.
Yeah.
But
wow, the monkey broke Tim there.
I got two movies that year for my birthday. I got The Matrix and South Park on VHS.
Right on.
And I remember my mum was great when I was at school. She'd be like, "Nah, have a sick day. It's your birthday," because I was never going to be Brain of Britain at school. And I remember my mum watching South Park with me, and as much as my mum tries to act all highly offended, she was laughing her ass off at it. Absolutely laughing her ass off at it.
Yeah. Then since you brought up those films, let me ask you, were the sequel Matrix films really that bad?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm not.
And the latest one.
I don't think the first ones were bad. I think the one they made wasn't that great.
Oh, the latest one they did. I was sat in the cinema watching that, and I can remember I all of a sudden had this really sharp pain down my arm. I wasn't having a heart attack. My cousin punched me in the arm because I was falling asleep. It was that boring.
Oh, yikes.
Oh.
As far as musicals, may I show my favorite?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Hang on.
If that's getting musical status, Rocky Horror is having musical status. That's all I'm saying.
Wait.
And I got the
No. No.
And
Oh, you're
See that
kidding me.
girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen.
And then I go
Mhm.
like,
Feel the beat on
Mhm.
the tambourine. Ooh,
Yeah.
Who's belting that? Is that Tim? Is that Tim?
yeah. Please stop singing ABBA. I can't stand ABBA.
Squeeze your meat and watch them scream. Ooh, yeah.
Nick, come on, let's keep it clean here, man.
Okay.
Oh yes, that's right. Soda Cauldron.
Sorry, Tim.
That's right, Soda Cauldron.
You know what I would recommend going to see if anybody gets a chance? I would go and see the Lion King musical again.
Oh, I have yet to watch that.
It's very good.
Oh, can you feel the love tonight? It's another
Arsene Wenger, the football man.
If anybody gets the chance to watch The Snowman, it's good too.
There's only one good snowman thing that ever happened, and I will give Scotland credit for that.
Well, the Iron Brew advert that nobody else gets us.
Which I love. I wish we got it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it doesn't even. They don't even stream it on.
I'm
English
falling
TV.
through the air.
If anybody wants
He
to
wants
watch
my iron brew.
Brew advert on YouTube, and it only shows in Scottish television, nowhere else.
I have to say to everyone after the stream, don't run away now, but go and watch the Iron Brew Snowman Christmas advert. It's hilarious.
Great. Love that advert.
I'm falling through the air.
To be fair,
He wants my iron brew.
if anybody gets a chance, you should honestly look on YouTube. Look at the history of Iron Brew adverts. Like some of them are just. I question some of them.
That's the 90s for soft drinks anyway. I mean, there's been some crazy ass campaigns.
There's a couple of Iron Brew adverts that are quite brutal, actually.
What wasn't there one? Oh, I'm trying to. Oh, there's something in my head about them stood outside a factory. Was that Iron Brew?
Yeah, probably. But there's another one that I really love. It's basically a take on High School Musical, and they're like, it's fizzy, it's ginger, it's phenomenal.
Oh, High School Musical. My cousin was into that.
I thought you were going to say my cousin was in that.
No.
No, his cousin was into it, was as an interested.
She was like, she brought the DVD. I'm like, oh God, turn it on.
No way. They play the Snowman advert in Ireland with the post office. That's great.
I can't remember any Iron Brew advert. Mind you, I haven't watched TV in about 25 years, to be fair, so I wouldn't have seen them anyway.
Oh, so good.
Miss Potato, you mentioned classic films and classic musicals. Can I please get your opinion on a certain film that kind of could be called both?
Warning, Kim's opinions can be graphic and brutal in nature.
Snow White. Snow White's an epic movie, not the remake. Nobody wants to talk about the remake.
Oh, please, no, yeah.
But the original good. The original's good.
Agreed.
I like a lot of the old Disney movies.
Yeah, as did I. Yeah.
O'Malley the Alley Cat from Aristocats. Fantastic film. One of my favorite Disney.
Snow White. Snow White was 1937?
I think it was, yeah. It was.
That sounds about right.
It was its first color animated.
Because Carla's nan told me she saw it at the cinema. She passed away now, but even when she saw it at the cinema, it had been released for like 10, 15 years when she saw it as a child.
She was the very first Disney princess.
Yeah. I still think Betty Boop was kind of... There was some sort of relation there, though.
Yep.
What? You really think Betty Boop was what?
I still think there was some inspiration with Betty Boop and stuff with that.
Oh yeah.
I can see that.
I think
Well,
Betty Boop was before that, though. Betty Boop started in like the early 30s.
Yep.
Yeah, but Snow White's a very old tale. It's not a Disney. It's a very old tale. So
I tell you what is we had a book growing up of the Brothers Grimm stories.
Yeah.
And they didn't hold back with the illustrations or the stories. And my God,
they were grim.
They're like horror stories.
Yeah, but
all these
they are.
Disney things we love are like horror stories converted.
They're Victorian stories, and Victorians were very morbid in how they dealt with things in life in general. No, but do you know what I mean? So, like when I watch Disney films, because I've read the Brothers Grimm books, I'm sitting there being like, anybody that's not
why has this person not had their face torn off?
Like they've got no idea that this story is not as nice.
Yep.
They're making it.
Yep.
So was Snow White a Brothers Grimm story?
It supposedly was that they it was like something they adapted from probably an older version, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, because Little Mermaid was a Grimm story.
Doesn't she drown someone at the end in the Brothers Grimm version?
It's more depressing.
She's like horrible.
For what?
The Little Mermaid. No, the Little Mermaid's like not a nice person.
She doesn't drown she doesn't drown anybody, but what happens is when she gets legs, every time she walks on her feet, it feels like she's walking on knives. So she's in pain the whole time that she has legs. Ooh. And the guy that she gets legs for ends up leaving her for somebody else.
Yeah.
And then she never goes back to the sea as a mermaid. She goes back as sea foam.
Oh.
But then
it's not a nice story.
Gets reincarnated as a daughter of the air.
Yeah, it's not a nice story. Okay. Little Mermaid.
Well, it's a bittersweet story, basically.
Yep.
But Brothers Grimm and Hans Christian Andersen, like what Andrew's saying, none of them were nice storytellers. They were all horrible stories.
No, they might not have been nice storytellers, but with some like Cinderella, the stepsisters get their eyes pecked out by the birds, and
and the sisters chop off their toes in order to make their feet fit in the slipper.
Well, I think one of them they chop off a toe, and the other one they chop off her heel.
Yeah.
God.
Just to make the shoe fit, which
I mean, Victorians were morbid, man.
Yep. Hey, I had to read a bunch of that stuff when I went through my English program.
And it wasn't a glass slipper. I think it was a gold slipper. Originally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Andrew. People were hard in the old days. You can't compete. Too true. Mind you know, the Victorians, I mean, like, we wake up and we've got our problems, and all problems are relevant, but like, they'd wake up and they'd like nick themselves on someone, and, oh my God, I'm going to get sepsis or lockjaw. Different worries, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, but also Victorians poisoned themselves quite a lot because they used a lot of medicines that were just not good for them.
And they put lead in everything.
Yeah, but they took arsenic and everything as like holistic and medical ways of fixing stuff, and they poisoned themselves a lot.
Yeah, didn't they take laudanum and stuff as well?
Yeah, like, and apparently if you set fire to something, that made you crazy and you used to get put in a loony bin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it was just, there's loads of
yawning at you guys, just late. I have thrown my back out taking a wee.
Sorry, man.
Andrew makes a good point. The difference between medicine and poison is merely an issue of dosage.
Well, yeah. All medicine is technically poison if we want to look at it that
way. That's a good point.
It's like, I don't know why people mix vodka and Red Bull, because they actually make the poison when you mix the two together.
Yep.
Does it?
Yeah. That's why you shouldn't drink a lot of it.
I can remember being 18, 19, going out to clubs and that, and they would sell pictures of Red Bull and vodka, and it was never actually Red Bull. It was always like some cheap generic knockoff of Red Bull, and they'd put like they'd always open the. I remember them preparing it. They'd open like, you know, whatever cheap energy drink they had, like 4 cans. They'd hold it over the thing, make a show, add their shots of vodka in, and chuck a shed load of ice in, and I think they charge you like 15 quid for that. And like you'd get your glasses, and people would drink that. There was such a craze for it. I never enjoyed it. I just think it tasted, even real Red Bull, I think it tastes awful.
I don't like Red Bull.
For the South Park fan, may I ask you a question?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about this?
Hang on. Let me take a peek.
Oh, Rick and Morty.
I honestly, I'm not going to say anything one way or the other. I just couldn't get into it. I saw a few snippets through a friend of mine, but I'll say what I've often said in my videos. I like what I like. Not that I don't like anything else. It's just time is limited. So I only spend time watching what I like. And it's nothing.
I've never even seen an episode.
Yeah. I might have just seen a snippet of an episode or two. And I'm like, I don't see the humor. I wasn't really into it. So it just, I can't. It's got to be compelling. It's got to be tying enough. It's got to pull me enough to want to watch it.
I'm going to say to our American friends on the panel, once this stream is done, I would love for you to go and watch some Stuart Lee, the comedian, on YouTube when you're done.
Okay.
And
they won't.
And I'll pop on next week.
They won't like that.
Hey. I just want to hear what they think of Stuart Lee, and I'll come back next week and we can have a very quick discussion.
Okay.
My prediction is, what the hell was that?
Yeah, they're not.
But if you get it, it's not getting it because it's not that. It's the most weird, surrealist. Me and Dave absolutely love Stuart Lee. Like, he is
fantastic.
One of my top comedians.
I don't think
but
that
he
humor
is.
will translate. I think it's too sarcastic. I don't think it will translate very well.
Thoughts on Wallace and Gromit? I love it.
Yeah, Stuart Lee's a bit different to Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah,
I mean,
not quite the same thing.
Pork and cheese, Gromit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quite a lot of difference. Yes, Wallace and Gromit. Funnily enough, I watched A Grand Day Out yesterday with Jax, and given stuff me and Kim were discussing the other day for our channel and stuff, I've just seeing the animation on it. I was like, wow, this is it's still awesome, but it's so basic now. Like, given where stop motion's gone to, it's like, wow. But it was still such a cool, funny story.
Wallace and Gromit not also claymation though?
Yeah, I believe so, because they've got like that. You can see all the fingerprints on them. But on A Grand Day Out, their style is Wallace and Gromit, but the style that most people know today is from like The Wrong Trousers and A Close Shave.
Yeah.
Well, that started on the British Gas adverts, didn't it? Doing the
Aardman Animations did the turtle and the parrot and everything, didn't they?
Yeah.
Tim, you were showing us something.
South Park seasons 1 through 5 on Blu-ray.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Do you think when they made Kenny, they just got a bit bored of drawing faces, so they're just like, oh, we'll just stick a hood on him?
Well, I think one of my favourite things about the whole Kenny thing in South Park is when even the creators got bored of the "they killed Kenny" thing. It's like, oh my god, they've killed Kenny. you bastards. Just move on really quickly. Just like, so, oh, Kenny's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Jason's off to bed. See you, Jason. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Night, Jason.
Have a good Christmas.
It's funny how in the Christmas one about Mr. Hanky, Kenny doesn't die, and then in the
he laughs, doesn't he?
Yeah, he survives, and then in this Save the Rainforest episode, I think it's in that one, Kenny gets struck by lightning, but then there's this girl who likes him. She asks, "Who's they that killed him?" They're bastards. And then she does CPR and brings him back to life, so he doesn't die again at all in that episode.
It's just, I mean, I've been watching the recent ones on Paramount, and into the Pandaverse, mate. I mean,
that's just like an extended episode. It's a special.
Yeah,
like hour-long specials on there.
I actually liked the streaming. I liked the Streaming Wars one better because it was more indirect and more subtle, and it was a little bit more intelligently crafted.
Is the Streaming Wars the one where the woman at the end will empty their implants? That's the one, isn't it?
Well, it's the one where the boys are making boats and racing, and then they're trying to race boats down a creek, and Cartman told his mom to get surgery of a certain kind.
That is the one. Yeah,
he dupes Kyle into sobbing over his mom because he didn't specify which surgery, so Kyle is duped into Cartman's cause. That's what makes it a little bit more intelligent in my mind, because the thing with the Pandaverse, there's a little bit of indirectness there, but it was so in your face about Kathleen Kennedy. You know what I mean?
So I almost thought that was part of the joke of it, though.
It was.
The up front there.
Yeah.
But I will say, I must admit, I really want to go and see the Book of Mormon.
Oh,
I'd love to see that. I've heard such good things about it.
Yep.
But it's even like their earlier films. Sorry.
So I thought you were done. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say like Orgasmo and Basketball and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just Orgasmo was a film that I had like a 2-month period of just watching it constantly because I couldn't get out. I can't even quote some of the funniest lines on here, but it's just so. It's such a good film.
I will have to rewatch that because I came across it. I don't think I even finished it. I think it was when I was trying to watch it with my then ex, my ex at the time, and I know like I realize like if I need to date someone, I need someone that will not be too hypersensitive, and can actually have a sense of humor. For me, like I like what I like. Like I said, I like watching my South Park or things that are a bit edgy. Not that I crave it. It's just like if it's well done humor, I'm gonna like it. And yeah, there may be some certain things most people will not like, but because it creates a total buzzkill for me when people inject their hypersensitivity to certain humor. I'm like, great.
Monkey's brothels open.
I was wondering, are you developing film in a dark room right now, the monkey?
No, he's got a brothel, Tim. He's got a brothel. He's just turned the light on. He's open for business.
Monkey, you don't have to turn on the red light.
I just want to say, Andrew. Yes, Lee and Herring was Stuart Lee and Richard Herring. Yep.
But then I think all comedy is so subjective. I mean, there's comedians I love that my wife hates, and vice versa.
Right.
Me and Kim have completely different tastes. I mean, despite the fact we work together a lot, we have very different tastes in comedy. But that's the joy of it, you know. Is you can't all be the same. It's just about that, like, just everyone's got their skew on it, haven't they? The things they find funny. I mean, I've got one of the blackest my sense of humor is just dark.
Okay.
It's dark, it's morbid.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, my wife prefers your more it's funny in our house because Carla prefers your more mainstream Royal Variety Performance style comedians. I like more your Stuart Lees and your sort of fringe comedians, you know.
Right.
It's just, but you know, it doesn't cause arguments or anything. We just have our different tastes. That's I mean, we might have the same date of birth, the same star sign, everything, but me and my wife could not be more different if you tried, and that's why I always question that. So, true story, me and my wife have the same date of birth. Figure that one out. And she's not my twin sister before you say it. It's just coincidence. I might be from rural Dorset, but we don't marry our sisters.
Andrew makes a good point. He's saying it must be hard to be a comedian today because back in the day you could redo material endlessly. Yeah, I mean they used to copy each other all the time, didn't they? You had comedians that told jokes, and then other comedians would nick those jokes and tell them, and jokes weren't really owned as such. But now, obviously, all stand up is most of it is very personal to the stand up himself.
I
saw. You don't really get that.
Yeah, well, is it Bernard Manning? Who's the one? He would never be. They'd never play him on TV.
Yeah,
anyway,
Bernard
it will come to me.
Yeah.
Bernard Manning. I saw him saying that back in the day, him and his mates, they'd all nick jokes off each other. And go, I reckon I can do something with that. But okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Right.
It was more of a friendlier network. Like they were all in it together.
My dad loved Tommy Cooper.
My old man's mad on Tommy Cooper. Absolutely loves him. It's generated same age though, aren't they?
Yeah, but to be fair, I don't love all of Tommy Cooper, but there are some skits that he does that are quite good.
May I give you an update on Mr. Bean?
Mr. Bean, are you talking about the actor? Rowan?
Yes.
Yeah.
He must be having a very bad time because in his newest film, he's in the Willy Wonka, they cut out all of his comedy and they just basically have him running away and looking bored, sitting in a chair and eating a chocolate. But they cut out so much of what makes him him.
But then Harry Potter films, they cut out all of Rick Mell's parts as the Rude Ghost Peeves, and Rick Mell was my opinion, an absolute comedy phenom. So it doesn't.
I wonder if they've got him in the film one for his name because it will help pull in people, but they didn't. They did probably cut out majority of his stuff because most likely because of his fame, the same as the Harry Potter would have then overshadowed who the main stars were meant to be.
The only thing interesting they had him do that was something he would have suggested is they let him run away from a zebra. From a what's the one with the long neck?
Giraffe.
Yeah. They had him running away from a giraffe screaming, I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner.
But comedy, man, subjective. So in the UK this year, you've got America's Got Talent, we've got Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
the guy who won it is a chap called Vigo Venn. He's a physical comedian. He's a clown. He's been going for years. His partner is very funny.
Okay.
But he went on Britain's Got Talent and did a whole act of just stripping off tops and revealing high-vis vests.
Okay.
Loads of English people were up in arms because he won. Why did that win? Well, it won because people were probably sick of it's almost that thing of like they're sick of dance troops winning it and sick of dogs winning it, so they'll just vote. However, I took my son to see him the other night, Sunday night, and I have never laughed so much in my whole life. And did I think he was the funniest person on Britain's Got Talent and on the Royal Variety Performance? No. But seeing his physical comedy and the fact that he pulled my son out of the audience and my son spent 6.5 minutes on stage with him and they were both performing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's just funny. I wish I could share the recordings, but me and Carla both come out there saying we need to point Jax in the direction of stage because he had the audience in stitches, but he doesn't even try to be funny and he's 9. It's just his honest, Jackson's brutal honesty. But the guy managed to keep the whole room entertained for 2 hours. And it was just physical comedy, like old fashioned slapstick. And it, you know, there's different types of comedy, isn't there? I go and see Stuart Lee and there's a bit more for the mind, although it's still not the highest level in places. But then you go see someone like that and people give him all that grief. And what did he achieve? He achieved 2 hours of having everyone tears streaming down their face laughing. So
what is it, like custard pies and trousers falling down stuff?
Lots of falling over, lots of like miming stuff, gunshot sounds, recording the audience set, just lots of random stuff. It's random. There was no real structure to it. And then they ended up almost doing a faux pantomime on stage, which had my son in it, some random guy from the audience, like Vigo's like second man in the act and him. And it was just, for everyone who hated on him in the media, it was just like, I'll send you the videos, Dave. It's just bizarre, but it was bizarre as well, which the bizarre always appeals to me.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of that like Mighty Boosh vibe to it with the weirdness.
Okay, yeah. That sounds cool.
So like physical comedy and just a lot of weirdness and randomness. How long his career is going to be? He did, yeah. And he got a lot of hate for winning it, but it's like, well, people voted him. But that's people, isn't it? It's all these, he shouldn't have won. Yeah, but had he have not won?
I'm aware of the program, but I've never seen it. I haven't
It's
seen
just
any of
funny to
these
me.
talent things.
Had he have not won, it would have been a child magician, a child dancer, or a Welsh choir.
Oof.
And it's like, and I think the reason he probably won is because people were just sick of that sob story winner, and just this random guy comes along. He's just completely doesn't follow any of the normal stuff, and people, it's probably like the Boaty McBoatface thing. People just get pissed off eventually and go, I'm just going to vote for the outlier, just to give someone else a chance.
I've
I
never
know.
heard
Kim?
of
They called the little tugboat Boaty McBoatface, but they called the main boat Sir David Attenborough. So the main boat that everybody wanted to call Boaty McBoatface, they were like, "Nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to call it Sir David Attenborough." But the little research boat that goes out with that boat is called Boaty McBoatface.
They asked the public to name a boat, and the public overwhelmingly voted, picked the name, and voted for Boaty McBoatface. And it won hands down. I mean, like landslide victory. And then they went, "Oh no, we can't do this." So they backed out of what they said. And so now we've had like Stormy McStormface for Storms. We've had Trainee every time there's a vote for a public thing, it's always something McFace. It keeps cropping up and keeps winning.
Oh,
To be fair,
who wanted the boat? Who wanted the boat named?
They built a boat. Kim knows it.
So they just made a new vessel to go out and do research and stuff like that, and have smaller boats that went out further afield to do research. So they decided to ask the public what they wanted. And then
they asked the British public what they wanted to name something, and the British public did not let down by coming up with an obscene, ridiculous name.
To be fair, though, Scotland
and
gives its gritter names.
Really?
Oh. We've got Gritalica. So we've got Rumble, Mr. Plough, the Ice Destroyer, Gritalica, Ready Spready Go, Led Zeppelin, Snowlar Bear, Gangsta Granny Gritter.
My God.
Frosty, Snow Angel, Veruca Salt. Like, there's some great, like, honestly, Grit a Bit, Always Be Grateful, Walter the Salter. Like, I'm not even joking you. And the thing about it is like, you can go onto a website and track your gritters. So you can see where, like, one's called, like, License to Chill. So you could see where License to Chill is gritting.
Oh.
Because you can track your gritters. And every time they put out a new gritter, they ask people to name it.
Wow. What killed the dinosaurs? It was the Ice Age.
I thought it was a comment.
I guess I do a bad Arnold.
You do a bad what? Sorry?
Arnold Schwarzenegger from Batman and Robin.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
And Batman and Robin the movie.
I heard a good joke yesterday.
Get to the chopper.
Why was Jesus a good man?
Why?
Because he came from a stable background.
I do have a joke. Rude for this stream.
I can't share any of my jokes. Tim will immediately ban me for life.
Yeah. No, I thought that one was quite good though. I enjoyed that one.
Do you know what I still think's funny? Is when my brother was little and he was learning about Jesus for the first time. And of course he learned that he was born on Christmas and died on Easter, and he came home at Easter and said to my mum, he didn't live very long. Which, to be honest, they don't teach you about the 30 years in between, really.
I mean, that was quite a good observation, actually. He did well.
Because he came home and he was like, Mom, you know how Jesus was born on Easter and was born at Christmas and died on Easter? And she's like, yeah. She's like, he didn't live very long. I still think that's the best thing I've ever heard.
I mean, in some ways, he's not wrong.
I also thought it was really funny because when my brother was little, they sang The Little Lord Jesus at school, and my granny had come to see him. But he told my granny what they were singing, and my granny sat throughout the whole performance laughing, just absolutely giggling away to herself, because my brother had picked it up wrong, and instead of singing The Little Lord Jesus, he sang The Little Malteser.
A little multi what?
Malteser is a chocolate we have in the UK.
It's like your malt balls.
Does it taste good at all, or?
Oh
Malteser,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice and crunchy.
Malteser's brilliant.
Give me your address. I'll send you a bag, mate. I'll send you a box.
Honestly, you can eat 1,000 of them,
and you'll float because they're so light.
Yeah, well, my mom might want some because she likes chocolate as well.
They're chocolate with honeycomb in the inside, like a crispy honeycombs thing.
We should probably send Tim a pack of crunchies and a box of Maltesers, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim's not disagreeing. He's like, yeah, send me all the candy. Send me all the candy.
You'll get the big boxes of Maltesers at this time of year.
Yeah.
I want cheese toasties.
Chocolate is much better than American chocolate.
Yeah.
Far superior.
I agree.
Our chocolate is illegal in the States because it has an ingredient in it that the States don't like.
But they put corn syrup in everything.
Yeah, I know.
The Kinder eggs are banned in the States as well because of the sweet contained inside the egg and the choking hazard.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But it's the same like when we had pals over from the States and they were like, why are your eggs not in the fridge? And I was like, because we don't clean our eggs so well that we take the outer protection layer off of them.
True. Yeah, but the process of bleaching and scrubbing the egg actually damages the outer membrane of the shell, which means they're more susceptible to
That's why they have to be in the fridge.
degradation, so you have to refrigerate them, whereas we don't do that. So you can open up a pack of our eggs and it's got chicken poo on it.
That's right, and feathers.
Yeah, feathers.
Chicken poo and feathers on our eggs.
Is that why American eggs are white then?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Yeah, that's mainly down to breed, I think, but
well, it depends on where you go nowadays because pasture raised is becoming a buzzword, and it bugs me because, yay, greater availability, but I get this weird stinking suspicion that you're just playing on that term. Sorry, guys. Plumbing work being done downstairs.
I mean, one of the biggest eye openers I saw. I'm just going to ask you go and watch it. I'm not going to discuss it here. It's not a Chillstream thing, but go and watch the film Food Inc. And it's a massive for the English people. Watch that film, and it's just it blow your mind.
Is it going to blow your mind? Eating things that
no, it's not going to put you off. You're just going to see things that you'll go, what the heck? Yeah. Moving on from that, but it's well worth a watch.
I heard about that like a decade or so ago, however long ago it was made. I remember that name.
Fantastically informative film. But yeah, our eggs, like I we open up our cartons of eggs and we don't stick. My eggs are on the kitchen side.
Yeah.
If I open them, there's a high probability there'll be chicken shit on the shell and that there'll be feathers because that's just how they come. Because we don't do battery chickens either, so it's all a bit au naturel.
It's meant to be on the basis. Well, to be fair, it's debatable what you could class as free range, but the main thing is that you're meant to have eggs on the basis that you would just, if you were to go pick them yourself, that's what they would be like anyway.
But we did. But that's
a very good joke. Sorry, go on.
Go for it.
No.
Oh, no jokes.
No, you can bring it up on the screen if you want to.
Which joke was it?
Soda's a couple of comments ago.
Which joke? There's a
the only joke I remember. No, the next one.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Kim's got such a good audiobook voice, I think Kim should read it out.
Sergeant Major asks a lady of the night, "How much would you charge for my company?" She says, £20. He says, Okay, men. By the left, quick march.
Excellent.
I want a copy of that audiobook, please.
She's already got to record the interview of the vampire for Dave,
Dracula.
so you're in the queue, mate.
Dave needs to send me.
Dracula. Sorry, Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula. Yeah, not Interview with the Vampire. I have read that. It's pretty good, but Dracula's awesome.
Yeah, sorry, that's an Anne Rice book. That won't be public domain yet.
No.
Kim has to read chapter by chapter for Dave. He wants Kim to record him Dracula. So
that'd be great.
Any more requests while I'm here?
You would be surprised how many requests we've had for Kim to do voiceovers since starting APC. Like seriously, people love her voice.
50 Shades of Grey, please.
No.
Okay, my bad.
Nobody needs 50 Shades of Grey.
Have you seen that book that's available in the UK? It's called 50 Sheds of Grey, and it's got 50 pictures of grey sheds in it.
Are you going to do the one about the fan thing that you sent me?
Yeah, I sent Kim a video the other day of an OnlyFans calendar, and and the front page of it is a girl in a bikini. So she's probably thinking, "What's this arse sent me?" And then it's just like 12 pages of the 12 months of just pictures of like fans. Just
excellent.
What about the book My Life as a Potato? Oh yeah, we could do My Life as a Potato.
Oh, that'd be right.
You don't want her now, but when she's French fries, you'll all want her. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a meme she sent me, Tim. That's a meme she sent me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a funny meme.
Yeah, but with ketchup.
See, I actually am now partial to chips with mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah.
Chips with mayonnaise has been a revelation for years. How have you only just got into that?
No, I've always liked chips with mayonnaise. It's just a lot of people are like, ew, because it's seen as a poor man's dinner.
Let me set the scene. You get yourself a tin of poor man's dinner.
Oh.
Let me set the scene though. You get yourself a tin of beans. You cook them until they go almost stodgy. You chuck a bit of paprika in them. You pour them over a fresh cooked batch of chips. Fat fries for anyone who doesn't know. Yeah. Oh. And then you drizzle full fat mayonnaise over them. Handful of grated cheese. Boom. That's living. It's a heart attack on a plate, but it's
why would you ruin good chips with beans?
Whoa. Hold up. To quote Dr. Dre, what?
If you've got really good chips, I wouldn't be putting anything on the chips except like salt and vinegar because they're good chips. They deserve to just be good on their own.
No.
Until you get carne asada fries. Boom!
I never put salt and vinegar on chips ever.
Oh no, I do. Loads of vinegar.
Ooh, I'd be down with that, but just.
But then I like pickled onions, and I like pickled onion Monster Munch.
Yep.
And I like pickled cabbage.
Oh yeah,
I do love. I tell you what, I'm a fan of pickled beetroot. Oh my goodness!
Pickled beetroot all the way.
Especially I can eat a whole jar of that. I remember I ate them. My mum. I was around my mum's house, and she's always got good stuff in like the pantry. So I go in, jar of beetroot. I open it. She's like, "Well, take it on with you now. You've opened it. Me and your dad won't get through that for ages." So I sat there eating the lot. I ate the whole jar because I'm a pig. But I was doing a slimming at the time.
An alarming poo.
Yes, but the next day I'd forgot I'd eaten that jar of beetroot. I had an alarming wee and an alarming poo. I was like, what the hell? Do I need to see the doctor?
Do you know what's funny? See, when for my dad's birthday a couple of years ago, we got him a birthday cake, and they'd obviously put in really rich blue colouring to the icing. So everybody literally had blue poos for a couple of days after eating the cake.
About 10 years ago, Burger King did the dark Whopper, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just a jet black bun and everything. Anyway, me and Carla, before we had Jack's, went to Burger King, had this Whopper, ate this Whopper. Next day, not to give too much, I get a bit of the old IBS. And like, what the hell have I produced? And I couldn't fathom it. And I was really worried. And Carla was like, do you think it's anything to do with that Whopper that you had? And I was like, and I Googled it, and there was like a load of people in the UK, they'd never eaten like this black dye before. And apparently a load of people ended up going to like the emergency room and their doctors because they were worried about their stool because they didn't realize it would turn it the scariest color you've ever seen.
Yeah, I think lemon lime Kool-Aid because it's green makes me sometimes poop green.
Oh.
He choked on his beer.
I didn't need that imagery, bro. But
Tim, you killed me.
Choked on his beer. That's great. Sorry.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
Are you sure that those are blueberries, Andrew, and that those aren't like gooseberries or whatever?
Yeah, but blueberries can sometimes be green on the inside. Depends how ripe they are as well.
It depends on what variety they are. Polish blueberries are really dark blue on the inside, purple on the inside.
If I could just encourage
blueberries, they're green.
If I could just encourage Tim to take a snippet of the stream right here to make a trailer for the chill stream. He killed me. He killed me.
Yeah, well, this is more a Christmas one, so maybe Andrew likes to have some sort of like holiday dessert with blueberries in it.
Oh dear. Ooh. I had to drink like a liter of water with dye in it once for like a camera there's no nice way of putting this, a camera they put in me, and that created some funky fluorescent colours, I can tell you that. So
the memories that people have to pass down to their children.
yes. Jesus Christ, I've had more cameras around me than the bloody Titanic has, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Oh.
Are you going to bed now, Soda Cauldron?
No, he's taking the dogs out. He's taking
we
the
should
dogs
all
out.
go to bed,
Out with the dogs. It's Stormy Daniels out there. Good night, Toll.
Nital, that is a medicine we take in the UK.
Yep.
Little play on words.
Yep.
I tell you that there's no UK medicine that go, oh, take night nurse and you'll fall asleep and you'll wake up fresh. Kim has great success with it. I have fever dreams.
But that's you.
My dreams are the most bizarre dreams. You like.
Oh, see,
I should write a book about mine.
I swear by night nurse.
I don't know that for years.
The only thing about it is, though, night nurses, if you're on any type of medication, you kind of can't take it. Because I like how they've now added to the night nurse label, this can become an addictive substance.
Right, yeah.
They never used to put it on the box, but they do now.
They never put that on bottles of beer, though, did they?
Well, no. Or maybe they do, just in really small print.
Well, I don't know if it's still on. Yeah. So once upon a time, if you can just turn me big a second, Tim.
Okay.
I'll show you something on bottles of beer.
Let's
bear in mind, I used to be like 22 stone, and I used to have long hair. And I used to think that the beer companies discriminated against me because if you look on our beer bottles, if I can get it in camera shot, where is it? There's a picture of a person with a big belly and a ponytail with like a cross for it saying you're not allowed it. So I used to think, I used to be like, why can't I drink beer? Turns out pregnant women shouldn't drink beer, but it just resembled me with a big belly and the ponytail.
Yeah, and I'm surprised you had long hair. I find that hard to believe because your hair's so short now, aside from the beard.
Never trust a man with long hair.
I'm waiting for him to grow a mullet.
But no, it was only about a year ago I cut off because it was all because of the pandemic, because I could shave the sides of it out myself. I had like a proper top knot going on, but my hair, when it was long, used to be quite literally down to my ass. And
I don't know
And
how
that
you
all
can grow it that long.
Well, it was a really simple thing because a couple of things happened. My mum said to me one day, I'm a defiant child. Things that have happened. I've had a jumper for nearly 20 years now that I wear to piss my mum off because she's like, you need to throw that thing away. Well, every time you say it, I'm not going to throw it away.
And
But
jumper has a different meaning here in the U.S. In the U.S., it's like something a girl wears over like a dress or something like that.
Oh, okay. So jumper's like a pullover sweater for us, yeah?
Yeah, it's a pullover thing for girls here in the States, but it's something that just girls wear. Okay, and you want me to take you out of solo?
And my mum would comment on my hair, and I said to my mum, every time you tell me to cut my hair, I'm going to add a month until I cut my hair. And I am an ADHD brain. I'm very fixed on certain things and not on others. And so my hair just got longer and longer and longer and longer. And then it got to about just below my tit. And my friend asked me to be best man at his wedding. And his missus came up to me and said, well, you can be, but you're going to have to cut your hair. And I was like, who the F are you? I ain't cutting my hair for nobody. So then it was 2 years to the wedding. So I kept my hair growing. So for the wedding, I had it all done in a French plait that my sister did for me. And then 2 days after the wedding, I cut my hair short. And I was planning on cutting my hair short until Sam come up to me, you're going to have to cut your hair for the wedding. No. So that's... And so... Sorry?
You're such a child with that sort of stuff. It's like you tell him to do something like, I'm not going to do that just because you told me to now. It's like,
what happens if people tell me to go to bed?
Because he won't go to bed.
Didn't you ever get spanked for talking back to your mother like that, though?
Oh, I took beatings that Mike Tyson would have been proud of. But, oh, man, I think the only reason I was semi-good at boxing is I got so good at flinching. Just waiting for a slipper or a fist to come at me.
Oh, wow. Dave's not finished his sherry yet.
No, I told you, it's a sipper.
But it's like 4 sherry, right?
Yeah, it's
he probably needs it to fall asleep, don't you, Monkey Boy?
No, I have sleeping tablets for that.
Okay. You doing
Soon
okay?
he'll have Dracula on audiobook.
I think it's after midnight for you now.
Yeah, it's just gone midnight for us here in the UK.
It's a good point.
I'm off until the day after Boxing Day, and then I'm in for 3 days and off for another 3. So I have been loving staying up late, going down a YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I can't even I can't go into the videos I ended up watching last night on YouTube.
Imagery.
Okay, now Lester, you're enabling me to want to get gummies because now you got gummies.
These are
I'm hungry.
They are
I might go and get my gummies.
I know, Lester. I know that they're not the kind that has the wacky weed in them or CB stuff in them. I know it's regular gummies, but you're enabling me to want to get really sugary candy now.
I gotta stop this because it's just like I can go one after one after one after one, and I normally don't eat this kind of stuff. It was a gift from high schoolers, so we did a gift exchange game. And it's like roll dice, and whatever I rolled, I ended up with these. And I usually try to give the cooler gifts. So I actually part of my was I contributed 2 or 3 DVDs because Rite Aid was having a sale. 3 DVDs for $5.
Yeah, Rite Aid has like bargain bin stuff like that.
Yeah. Unwrapped. They're unused, so they're brand new. So I did that along with some. I think it was a deck of cards. Can't believe deck of cards went up from like $2 to $5. But hey, I'm not complaining because that's about pretty much almost 30 years passed, and I guess that is not a bad price. I'm not going to complain about going from $2 to $5 in 30 years, so that's not bad.
I have no gummies. I just have donuts.
A friend of mine managed to get some
That
gummies.
was an amazing picture. That made me really hungry.
Sorry.
Well, wait. About Kim got it. Kim, what about the donuts you got? What kind do you usually go for? Filling, no filling.
Well, I got an assortment because we have a Tim Hortons now, and and it had just opened, and I hadn't tried it. Although I still think I'm partial to Krispy Kreme.
Oh, I get
Krispy
you.
Kreme
you
are
have
the
Krispy
donut of
Kreme
choice.
in like
Yeah, they're
Scotland,
nice, yeah.
and is we used to have a bunch of those here, but now they're few in between. I know the one we had one here in Modesto, and it closed down.
We used to have
Donuts
like
imported here from another one somewhere.
Do you guys still have? Do you guys have more? Do you still guys still have quite a lot of Dunkin' Donuts?
No. Yes, no.
We might have one here. I think we did get one here, but I'm not sure.
Because we had one well over a decade ago, like where like more than a decade ago, like, and it was here for ages, and then it just disappeared.
Well, what happened in my neck of the woods is a Lebanese American family bought the Dunkin' Donut locations in our town, and they're just rebranded Sesame Donuts. So I guess you could say that's my Dunkin' Donuts. But we still have Dunkin' Donut products in stores. So like Dunkin' Donut coffee.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme is like the same deal. We might have a Krispy Kreme somewhere in my neck of the woods, but you can find a lot of Krispy Kreme products in stores. I don't know if they're any good as the chains, I guess you could call them, the establishments. I don't remember the last time I went to an establishment. I remember when they were the rage in the mid-90s, but that was such a long time ago.
Well,
yeah, my first exposure to Dunkin' Donuts was like cereal. There was like glazed donut cereal or chocolate donut cereal.
See, that's just weird.
That didn't last long. It really didn't last long. It was like probably around for a little while, and then it was gone.
Milk. What does that say? Something favorite cookie Oreo? What?
Oh,
yeah, Monkey's got some Oreos.
Yeah, he's got Oreo cookies.
It's in a packaging. What's the packet? Is it what?
It says Milk's favorite cookie Oreo. Because it's a cookie you don't.
Oh, is it like a blanket or something?
No, I think that's the packaging there.
Yeah,
it looks like it's plastic packaging.
Yeah.
I don't understand this whole thing about dunking Oreos in milk because nothing happens.
No, I don't understand that either.
They don't
absorb the milk.
Yeah, I never understood it either, but I don't like drinking milk.
But saying that though, you know the marshmallow flumps that are over here?
Yeah.
They turned it into a cereal.
Oh,
which scares me slightly.
What, a cereal with flumps in it?
Yeah, it's like they're trying to be Lucky Charms and Marshmallow Matey, but failing.
Yeah,
it's also made a flumps drink.
Yeah, it seems like with like the earliest version I had a Cookie Crisp, it was actual cookies for cereal. Yep. But then they turned it into more of a cereal.
Yeah.
Because it used to be, well, you can't have cookies for breakfast, but you can have Cookie Crisp. So for a while, it was actual cookies in there. But then they introduced the Cookie Crook and the cop chasing them around.
I remember those days.
It was more of a cereal that looked like chocolate chip cookies.
I mean, I remember those days growing up as a kid getting those sweetened cereals. But as an adult, I'm very picky, so I'll get Rice Chex or some flaky cereal, whether Raisin Bran, Corn Flakes, or.
I have to admit, I don't really eat cereal as an adult.
I don't either nowadays.
I
But-
still eat cereal, but I don't have milk in it because I don't really like milk.
I
So
only buy cereal when the mood takes me.
Mhm.
So, well, look, he's back.
I just went for a wee. No one needed to hear that, and I just wanted to show my new Christmas jumper that I got today. Just to say,
that is cool, Nick.
Ah,
He was telling me about this earlier.
cool.
So again, a friend gifted that to me as well. So,
Getting all the fancy presents this year.
well, you know, it's one of them. But no, sorry, I'll shut up now. I'll disappear back into my little corner.
With your jumper, guess what I would call you?
Jumper McJumpery face.
There's a star, man.
Uh,
Yeah, I guess. He'd like to. I was going to sing that, but then suddenly, because I've had like 3 beers, my lyrical recollection of songs is bad, so I'm just replacing words with obscene things. So I'm going to stop there.
I had to change the lyrics to that today. Somebody made a request of Skeletor, and he's partially fulfilled the request.
I have to say,
the lyrics have been changed somewhat.
this week's Skeletalk was particularly disgusting. I loved it.
I know.
Then I am partially very thankful.
You know what? Ever
Hey.
since we started becoming
You haven't made it on YouTube, so you've got a writing credit on Skeletalk, mate. I'm telling you.
See, since we become friends with Monkey Boy Dave and talk about Skeletor seems to be cropping up on my phone more and more.
It's listening to you, that's why.
Yeah, I know.
Listening to you.
But when I was at work today, I was looking for gifts to send my colleague, and Skeletor kept coming up with a Santa hat. And I was like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of Skeletor stuff on my phone, but then I would expect that.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
I'm forever typing Skeletor into my phone, so
I'm forever sending Dave demented pictures of Skeletor that I've designed or messed around with an image editor these days. So
yeah, those
the
last 2 weeks were
Skeletor.
good. Oh, they'll probably be on next week, probably not this week, but yeah, they're
Don't,
good.
please don't feel you have to feature them. I just sent them for
No,
your
I'll be happy
amusement,
to.
sir.
I'll be happy to
So-
put them on there.
So, Monkey Boy, do you want to have a chill stream next week because it'll be the last Wednesday of 2023?
Ah, okay. So that'll be sort of like a New Year one then, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be a New Year's. It'll be
I
the
can
last
be party potato.
part.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Part.
I can be party potatoes where I have
Okay.
sparklers for arms.
Okay.
Ah, yeah.
I can be party APD where I just show up and talk the same bollocks as every week.
So nothing new.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me go.
Not unless you want to be Frankenfurter.
If you want me to show up next Wednesday as Frankenfurter in full makeup and full drag, I can do it, sir. It's not an
Well,
issue.
You don't have to. You do not have to. I'm just saying.
Maybe
I
not.
kind of wish you said I had to. I kind of wish.
Just don't wear the lace again because you complained it was itchy. Why is there a
It
fish?
was itchy. It was itchy. I remember sitting after that
Look, is there a
stream and
fish?
He's just being silly. Monkey Boy's just being silly, like he always does in his videos. He likes to just
Well, we'll
randomly
see
add
what I,
stuff.
we'll see what I have.
See, now
Right.
that's just creepy.
No,
Smarter
that's
than
sweet.
the average bear, eh?
He's cool.
Oh, he's got a high vis on.
he's Jackson's. Of course, he's got a high vis on.
Of course, he's got a high vis on. Now, I know that everything outside my house is being shoveled about by the wind because apparently we've got 50, 60 mile per hour winds. Apparently,
Wow.
To be fair, it's pretty windy down in good old
yeah, I've just
Dorset
heard a
today.
massive thump outside my house, so I know something's moved.
Well,
I was driving back today from my friends, and the car was taking an absolute lashing. Which is like, you know, when you're driving, it goes, woo. Like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Is your car sorted now, Nick?
Yeah, got it back. Exhaust has been replaced. New wheel. But everything on it is touch wood, sound as a pound, and it's a 20-year-old car. I love my car, and even my 20-year-old car will still set you back the best part of £2,000. So to spend 370 quid on it, did it sting? Yes, it did. But I've had my car for 10 years, and I love it. And I tell you what, there's two things in life that really break your heart: losing an animal and having to get rid of a beloved vehicle.
Oh.
So, but my mechanic reckons that, you know, I only do a couple of thousand miles in it a year because I've got my work vehicle and Carla's car. So he's like, keep on top of it, mate. It'll probably last you another 10 years. So that's my goal. Keep it going. I've got it booked in for a service, a little bit of TLC in the new year.
TLC is in the tender and loving care.
Yeah, I love my car. It's only a Honda Civic IV Tech 2-litre thing, like one of the 4x4 ones, but it's just, I love it. I mean, not love it to the point that I want to marry it like some weirdos do, but it's just a nice big car.
Does it have a name?
Comfortable. Kari McCarface.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Thanks for that.
Well, it hasn't got a name. Kim, name my car for me.
No, that's your job.
Well, no, I've never named a vehicle. Tell a lie, we named our first car. Our first car was a Citroen AX, and we brought a little plastic L and stuck it there, and we called it Axel, after Axl Rose. But
I dare you to name it Jodie Whittaker.
No.
Yeah, I don't hate my car though, Monkey. That's the problem. I love it. She was probably one of the most universally disliked Doctor Who's of the last forever.
Oh, okay.
But to be fair, that's unfair because she did suffer some terrible writing. But
From your guys' perspective, I know there's been a lot of American backlash. I think we talked about it too, Nick, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe David did. But there's been some backlash about, I think it's the 60th or 65th anniversary of Doctor Who, and people are just tuning out just because of the direction, at least as I understand it.
I mean, did I like the regeneration scene? It wasn't my favorite. Shooty Gatwa, now I've watched it back again. He's growing on me a bit. I'm going to give him... It's always difficult when a doctor changes. The only doctor I've never connected to was Jodie Whittaker. Nothing to do with the gender swap. It was a weird era of Who. It didn't feel like Doctor Who. Chris Chibnall wasn't the best writer. And it stylistically, story-wise, it just didn't feel like the Who that I knew. But I watched it all. I watched every episode. So I gave it enough chance, and I still didn't enjoy it. I don't dislike Jodie Whittaker, despite what I said. I dislike the storyline. I think with the right... I think if we would have had Jodie Whittaker in the Moffat era or the Russell T Davies era, I think she would have been a lot better of a doctor. A lot of people don't like Moffat's style because they didn't like Capaldi's writing, but it is what it is. The writing for Capaldi. The 60th, there's been some bits in it which have caused talking points, but equally we're in 2023 now, and them's the breaks. That's where TV's going. That's where the entertainment world's going. So our choices are deal with it or tune out. But
it's just series. Like, you can never get it right for everybody. Like, the amount of series that my pals and I have loved, and then they get cancelled after like one season But yeah, there's other stuff that get like 6 seasons, and you're like, well, pile of rubbish.
And I mean, the last episode, the first episode I thought was good, as we discussed on a couple of weeks back. The middle episode I thought was fantastic. The last episode, there's a few things I'm not loving, but equally, I have to give Russell T Davies chance to potentially expand on it, because I think he's quite good at wrapping ends up, which the other writers haven't been, even if it takes a few years, but he's finally wrapped up the Donna Noble saga. And it's always difficult saying goodbye to a Doctor if you like them, but this time around we had David Tennant back, and albeit not my favourite Doctor of modern era, one of them, Matt Smith, was my favourite Doctor of modern era Who. But you had Tennant back, who was so good. And then we've now got a new Doctor. And I said to Kim after the first time, I said, I'm not sure I'm loving Ncuti Gatwa. But then I watched the episode again. And I went, well, you know what? And then I thought, actually, you say this every time. Every time I get a new Doctor, I go, oh, I'm not sure. You've got to give him a fair run. Because that's the thing with Doctor. It's not like James Bond. When you recast James Bond, people they've all got their own little bit they add to it, but it's essentially James Bond. But when the Doctor regenerates, he or she becomes a completely new person just with the same memory. So I've got to give it fair dinkum, you know? I don't want to... I've seen enough to make me intrigued to come back, if that makes sense. So I will come back and I'll give it a fair crack of the whip. Because we've got the Christmas special on Christmas Day. So it'll be quite interesting to see Ncuti in a whole episode of his own. And not with David Tennant there, not with all the 60th hype around it. So, but you're never going to please everyone in the Doctor Who fandom, ever. You just can't.
I think
it's
he'll
impossible.
come into his own once they get rid of the old, once they get rid of David Tennant and stuff and stop pulling back previous memories that people loved and give him a chance to just be the character itself, you know? But
then this is very much as I wasn't a fan, I don't want to say how it went down, in case anyone wants to watch it, it's worth a watch. But as much as I didn't love the regeneration scene and the direction they went with it, it was very much done to wrap up one era of Who and move into a new era. So we have to give it fair. We've got to give it fair sort of. The biggest thing I want addressed in Doctor Who is the Timeless Child. Either retcon it or explain it out properly, which was a Jodie Whittaker era story, which has been a bit divisive. So either retcon it, write it out, or explain it better. One or the other.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go too into it because not everyone's Whovians, not everyone's into Doctor Who, and if you're not, you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? But
do you want to know my opinion of the Doctor Who specials?
Fire away.
Doogie Howser ruined my opinion of him. In my opinion, casting Doogie Howser
Neil Patrick Harris
in those special. Yeah,
I loved him. I thought he was one of the best parts, especially when he did the Spice Girls dance. I was just like, it's mental. But
it's the only performance he was in that I didn't think that, like, I couldn't connect with his character like I could. Even when he was in the Harold and Kumar films, I could connect with him better than when he was a dancing top hat guy.
Yeah, but I mean, he's playing a character from back in the 60s, and there's some dark history to that character due to cultural appropriation and stuff, which Russell T Davies explains, and why the route he took him where he took him. And I think Russell T Davies did well to resurrect that character, but equally, the whole scene when he's in unit doing the dance to the Spice Girls song, you might go, what? A Spice Girls dance? that's a very English humor. That was everything about that was, you were going to take that one of two ways. You were going to take that as ridiculous, or you were going to just appreciate the absurdity of it and what the character is. But you're not wrong if you don't like him, because that is the beautiful thing. We can all have different opinions. One man's love is another man's dislike, or woman's. You know, it's sci-fi. It's all imaginary. It's not real. It's escapism for us on a Saturday night. That's the important thing.
Now,
There's anyone who disliked his character is not wrong. Anyone who liked it's not wrong. It's just a different vantage point.
I think it's really interesting and really great that we each have a difference of, like, I prefer the Jodie Whittaker and the David Tennant, and you prefer the Doogie Howser guy and the other doctors. So we each have a different take on.
But I mean, it's one episode with Neil Patrick Harris, and I refer to myself as a Whovian through and through. I don't just watch modern Who. I'm big on classic Who. I love the classic shows. So, and albeit very different, they're still of the same continuity. So it's Doctor Who. What I'm trying to get at is Doctor Who has changed so much in every era of Doctor Who, from the 60s to the 70s to the 80s. The 80s was that the 90s episode, the one-off they did with Paul McGann, into the 2000s when Eccleston come back and they revived it, through the Tennant, Smith, Capaldi, Whittaker era, back to, you know, Tennant, now to Ncuti Gatwa. It's all so different. But I guess any show that is what's the word I'm looking for? Any show that spans that many decades will have to grow and evolve to the audience, you know. It will have to a degree. It's got no choice, because if Doctor Who was Doctor Who of the 60s, people will be up in arms now. You know, every era is different.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong. My favorite for years, I always dressed in a long scarf like that one doctor.
Tom Baker.
Yes, I had got like a huge settlement, and I was like, people wanted me to. They're like, "Where are you gonna get?" And I was like, a Doctor Who scarf, and I wore that thing everywhere.
Because I mean, you had Hartnell, Troughton, Pertwee, Baker. So yeah, the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker. You obviously had a bit of love for Tom Baker, which is good. Tom Baker is loved in the Doctor Who fandom. Loved it. He's regarded as one of the classic Doctor Who's of all time. So, and then you had Davison and Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy and then Paul McGann and then, you know, into Chris Eccleston.
I feel very
and that's
sorry.
Not even including the timeless child actors.
I feel very sorry for the actor that was in Doctor Who that ended up that his career got ruined after he was in the Cobra, Rise of Cobra film.
Who was that?
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I know the film. I just can't think. I'm trying to think. Was it Chris? It wouldn't be Eccles. I don't know. Without googling it, because I'm aware of the film, but I haven't seen. I'm not aware of any particular Doctor having anything ruin their career per se. I know Matt Smith's had a little bit of a. He's not had the best success in Hollywood. He did the Terminator film. Terminator. Is it Genesis? and he was signed on for several films, but that bombed.
He was in that.
Christopher Eccleston.
Chris Eccleston. Oh, no, see, I can't imagine Chris Eccleston feeling his career's ruined, because Christopher Eccleston is a really highly regarded British actor. And one of the reasons he left Doctor Who after one season is because he didn't want to be too tightly tied to it. And then that's why now, I believe, I mean, the rumor is that everyone who signs up to Doctor Who has to sign up for multiple seasons. They can't just be on an open contract to prevent the whole one and done. But then that's speculation of the fandom. But then Christopher Eccleston, I mean, he's done Hollywood stuff before. I mean, he was in Gone in 60 Seconds. He was the bad guy in that. I'm not saying he hasn't had backlash for that film, but I've certainly not heard it. And he is, as I say, very well regarded in the UK as actors go. I mean, Christ,
I just never hear of him anymore.
28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
but that was like 20 years ago. All I'm saying is,
it was, but he's still going. I mean, he's had enough success in his career that he can be rather choosy as to what he wants to do. That's a nice position to be in with regards to acting.
I just haven't seen him in anything else since.
But then you don't see Matt Smith a lot. I haven't seen Peter Capaldi in a lot. Dare I say, I mean, I know she only left a year ago. Jodie Whittaker. I mean, she was sort of come to the forefront, and I think one of the reasons Chibnall wanted her was because she was in Broadchurch, which your American remake of that was called West Point, I believe. Excuse me, my cat's scratching the door and going nuts.
Okay. Well, it's getting late. It's after 3:30 here, so I'm going to want to end the stream shortly. Kim had to go as it was getting late for her, so she had to go lay down and go to sleep.
Totally. I get it.
I only plan to last till 3 o'clock. Just do a 3-hour stream, or I mean, go till 4
Can
o'clock.
I show you?
It's been over 3 hours now.
Can I show one thing?
Okay.
Go for it.
Hurry and show it because Nick's showing his cat. Broadchurch.
I don't think I've heard of that one, but who's in
Yeah,
that?
I've never heard of it.
David Tennant and Olivia Colman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, David Tennant is in that.
Billy.
And Olivia Colman. That's what he said. Olivia Colman.
Olivia Colman's brilliant. She's fantastic. I haven't
And
seen
gotta
Broadchurch.
see the pussy.
Olivia Coleman's brilliant.
Gotta see the
Billy.
black pussy cat.
Oh,
The black pussy cat. He's ready to attack the black pussy cat.
all right. Well, Tim, thank you as always. I appreciate it. So, yeah.
And
Yeah,
thank
thanks,
you all
Matt.
for coming. Next
Thanks to
week,
everyone.
Thanks for having me.
yeah,
joined
next
the
week
show.
will be the final chill stream of 2023. So let's
It's
have it
the
go out with a
final
bang.
countdown.
We can do this.
Thanks to everyone that's been in the chat this evening. Appreciate
Yep.
you all stopping by. Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone, all of our guests.
Tim,
Yeah.
to me, this stream and being on a stream with a awesome Doctor Who fan, I was my ultimate Christmas present.
Oh,
Okay, great.
Awesome.
cool.
So out of curiosity for all of you, what film are you going to be watching on Christmas Day?
Whatever my parents decide, because my
Yeah,
case.
Yeah, I
Be
have to go
honest,
over to my
Christmas
brother's
Day-
house, so I don't know if I'll have time.
Yeah.
Christmas Day is a difficult one for
Yeah,
films.
it's
I
gonna be
mean,
difficult
the only
day.
thing I will definitely watch is the Doctor Who special on BBC. That's the only thing I've got dialed in for Christmas Day. However, I do like to watch a bit of Lethal Weapon because it's also a Christmas film, people.
It
It's
is.
also a Christmas film.
I'm going to be watching Home Alone on 4K.
Oh, okay. Right on.
My little boy loves that. I've already watched it 3 times this month and the sequel. I love it, but
Which is that, Nick? It's
my little Home Alone. My boy
Okay.
loves 1 and 2. It's very much a December film in our house. That and the Nativity films. He's a big fan of those.
Yeah, and Gerard O'Connor's back from walking his dog, but he has a doctor's appointment first thing, so he will say goodnight all. Yeah.
No,
I'm
Gerard, I'll
ending
go
the
and look
stream
for your
now,
comment
Gerard.
now, Gerard, on Skeletor's channel. I'll go and look for it. If you don't get a reply from me in the next sort of half an hour, then I haven't found it.
So once again, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had fun. It was a great discussion today. Merry Christmas,
guys.
everyone.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Happy holidays.
And
See you next time.
Feliz Navidad.
Indeed.
Feliz Navidad.
See ya.
Okay. End the stream.